I lacked because nobody was confronting me. Nobody's appearing to challenge me on this thing. Mr. Mashaba has not, Mr. Sibe has not, nobody. So it's still in the investigation by counsel. That's why then once I was sure that I'm not being challenged, nobody's challenging me, that's when I took this affidavit. I gave it to the speaker in November to say, here is undisputable evidence. Take it to the council. It has not gone through.
Yeah, because what I want to establish here is whether the council ventilated these matters or not. And if it did, then what was the resolution in respect of all of these allegations? Because if I can list them, it's a 580 million allegation, the 7.9 million allegation, and the 3.5 million allegation.
Yes.
Yeah. So all of them, were they brought to the attention of the council?
I'm saying
because yeah, the reason why I'm asking, because the backstop with the council as well.
Yes, I'm saying.
Yeah, so we need to establish where the responsibility was overlooked.
Yes, there's two points though. The first point is, I told you what was happening. They were blocking things up until this council, this ANC-led council decided to investigate. So my affidavit, the affidavit that I filed here, when I realized that I'm sure nobody's opposing me, that's when I gave the copy to the Minister of Cocta and to the Speaker to act. And I gave it to Shamila Batoi as well as to Masemula to act. Now that I am sure I'm not being opposed in those environments. So I'm waiting. We wrote to the Speaker with my attorney, Ms. Tubaza. We wrote to her to say, why are you not taking what is clearly an undisputable piece of evidence to the council?
You know why I'm asking? I'm asking because in some instances, when allegations of this nature are brought to the council maybe will take a resolution that let's subject them to a 106 investigation, or maybe let's write to the MEC rather to consider subjecting them to a 106 investigation. Because I'm trying to ask myself here, why were they not, why did the council not take a firm stand? Because these allegations are serious, they involve serious monies.
Yes, I'm answering you. I'm saying the investigation was launched. So we
what kind of investigation?
The one is on page 30, the investigation committee. So the investigation.
Yeah, but I'm asking what kind? Was it internal or external? Was it a forensic or internal?
An internal investigation conducted by external lawyers.
By external lawyers?
Yes.
Who appointed them? Is it the council,
it's the
or,
council.
Or the MEC?
It's the council.
Okay.
Yes.
So the MEC never acted.
So I gave the MEC and the Speaker now that my evidence before that committee of these lawyers that are investigating has not been opposed, nobody has applied to cross-examine me, then I prepared this affidavit for this committee, for the Madlanga Commission, and then I gave the copy to the Speaker to say, here is undisputable evidence. Go of fraud and corruption. Go and report to the council. But that's the first thing. The second thing, Honorable Nomvale, which is important here, which that's what brings me here. General Mkwanazi says, if what Mesuli is saying is correct, then General Sibe should not have been appointed to the DNC. And I'm here to say, General Mkwanazi, here is evidence. All I need an authority that have got the gut to deal with this thing once and for all. And have this fellow and his associate charged once and for all, like everybody else, like Abo Kumalu are being charged. Like Abo Tim Kulu are being charged. That's all that I'm requiring for at this stage. The evidence is here. So,
yeah,
if I can conclude.
I understand, I really understand your frustration. But here, I really want to get to issues one by one.
Sure.
Maybe we'll get to the point that you are raising now. So, these were reported to the council, reported to the NPA, reported to IDEC, reported to the MEC for Cocta, but there was no action.
Yeah, not IDEC, NPA, and General Masemula, the MEC for Cocta, and the Speaker.
They were reported.
I gave them this affidavit, yes.
You gave them this affidavit,
yes.
And you've attached the letters that you wrote to them. Yeah. Ne?
Everything, like the one that you have is exactly what they have.
So they never acted. They failed to act. It means they failed to act if they did not help you with anything.
Yeah, no, look, I think they are still considering acting. I'll just, but I gave them in November. So it was December, the last month is January now. So I just have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. And then I want you to summarize the role that Mr. Sibia, General Sibia, played directly in all these allegations. Just make a summary, please. The allegation of 7.9, the allegation of 3.5, and the allegation of 580.
The person who,
The individual role.
yes, the person who signed the report to procure the spyware is General Zibi. Me and you, we can be confused about what the law says about spywares. He can't. He was the Major General of the Hawks. So the other report is signed by him. And he was here. And I don't if you remember, he lied here. He said that Mrs. Brink, my sister Chantel, signed this thing. He lied here. And yet the report was signed by him. It was addressed to him. Yep. So if you want to then to locate this wastage of public funds on spyware, it must go to General Sibia. If you want to know who must be charged for this unlawful possession without the authorization of the minister, it is him. You come to the other allegations, the one of 3.5 million rands, where they were just defrauding the city. So again, there in that report of January, who signs using a title, a bogus title of a commission? It is him. So the people who appear in these documents must answer. Honorable Nomval, I don't know who will be much more guilty than the other, but they are signed by people who exist. So the last one that I was then saying to you is that if your appointment and the conditions of services or delegations never saw the light of day in council, somebody then, that is what is called corruption in terms of Section 10 of PREG. That's corruption in terms of Section 10. Somebody must answer for that. So all of these people that appear here, they must answer because it's their signatures.
So your conclusion is that had these allegations been acted upon, Sibia would not have qualified. General Sibia would not have qualified to be the National Deputy Commissioner. That is your conclusion.
Exactly. In actual fact, you can't afford to have, and this is the language that I've used when I was speaking to the SC. In my view, this is a prima facie fugitive from the law. Somebody must just go and grab him by the jacket and present him before a judge and say, and whoever did this within a space of 3 months.
Yeah, Bladu, we are a constitutional state. You know this thing of you just grabbing a person by the jacket and
Yeah. Well, are you done answering?
presenting him before? No, you will have your time. Present him before a judge.
No, Chair, I'm running out of time. Man.
Yes. So
Oh, by the way, you are chasing a plane.
my apologies, Chair. So all I'm saying is that if these guys had taken the time, they were served with my affidavit by the Special Investigation Committee. Everybody was served when I was appearing before the Special Investigation Committee. They were invited to oppose me, to dispute this, but they cannot dispute it. Why? There's already an affidavit of CBI at High Court that confirms all of these documents.
Okay. Now, with regards to the NPA, you wrote directly to the NDPP, right? To the former NDPP.
So what happened to the NPA was there was a case that was opened by Councillor Gwamanda on the spyware, and then there was a case that was opened by Dr. Brink on the appointment. So I supported both of them with a supporting statement.
Okay.
At that time, because I was trying to make sense as well. Look what the hell is going on here.
Yeah.
You know? So when the NPA says it is not going to prosecute, by the time then I managed to get this thing into a picture that is understandable, that's when then me and my attorney here, we then approached the NPA.
So the NPA said they are not going to prosecute.
We heard that from General Sibia when he appeared here, that's what the NPA said.
Oh, that was for the first time you're hearing about it.
I think there was also an article, an article of sorts.
So since you were one of the complainants, there was no response given to you
No,
on whether prosecution will be done or not.
no.
Was that before the public protector's report?
Which one?
The public protector's report in relation to the appointment of General Sibia. Was it before or after?
You mean the letter where the public protector says, I did not investigate?
I mean, the decision not to prosecute, when was it taken?
It would have been after
After
the letter of the public protector and the letter of the SSA.
Okay, so didn't you try to pursue it again after the public protector's report?
Look, you only wait, because this thing is, if I had not researched this thing properly for myself, well, I'm not going to be able to explain this because it's just too graphic. So I say these things and they're just so unbelievable. So I took my time when this opportunity came of this committee to say, let me just, particularly when General Mkona's engaged me publicly, I then said, let me then place this thing. So the NPA said to us, we must make submissions with my lawyer. We then made a full file again. After they've received this file, they requested further submissions. We have made further submissions that these people who are appearing in these documents must have their day in court.
Okay. So the evidence you are tendering before this committee is that General Sibia is not a credible person to be considered or to be called the Deputy National Commissioner.
I'm saying more than that. I'm saying it was a breach of national security.
Okay.
When someone is being investigated, a decision to investigate him last week is taken, you make him a DNC. That's a serious breach of national security. Secondly, it's a breach of national security, especially when two ministers are sitting.
No,
with serious
I
allegations.
think you have made that point.
Yes.
Yeah. On page 3, you are listing the terms of reference, and I think you are trying to put to context your affidavit and complaints thereof that you have forwarded to this committee. So
Yes.
we are trying to explain
Yes.
how your complaints are relevant to
Yeah.
our terms of reference.
Yes, Chairman.
Now, my last question is, are your complaints only in the context of Sibia being an employee of the city of Joburg? So you don't have any other issues that you raise or allegations post that when Sibia is now in the police?
No, they are.
So they are only related to him being an employee of the city of Joburg.
No, they are. Once he realized that I've reported them to the ministers,
Yes.
there are WhatsApp screens here where I'm being threatened. The police is threatening a member of the public. Where is threatening me? Once he realized that I've reported him to the ministers, these WhatsApps are here where he issues threats against me.
Did you attach them here?
No, they are here.
Okay.
And then when he realized that I'm not flinching, I don't know why he thinks that I will flinch because it's at SAPS. I did not flinch. Then he sent a lawyer's letter to threaten me, to gag me. Me and my lawyers, we said, no, bring it on. Then when he realized that I am not flinching again, he sent to me the Hawks. Suddenly, the Hawks were knocking at my door, right? The Hawks were knocking at my door. And the reason why I know that it is him who sent these Hawks is because the case, if you look into this document, is somewhere here. There's a letter from the Hawks where the Hawks are making inquiries about me being part of a tender. I met the investigating officer, said, what tender? He says, no, there was a tender of cell phones. When was it awarded? He says in January 2019. I said, well, you are looking for a wrong person. Go and find people who deal with tenders. I knew that it was an intimidation because he had already threatened me with WhatsApps, threatened me with legal action. Then the next thing, there comes the Hawks knocking to my house. So this is the second part I'm raising, Honorable Nomvalo, and you just don't have the time. You've got what I refer to a prima facie fugitive from the law. Then you've got a prima facie serial lawbreaker, someone, when you are asking him to account for his conduct, he's prepared to threaten you and abuse state position to get you to silence you. Okay. That's what we're dealing with here. So what am I saying? He ought not to have been appointed. And the second thing is this, is that if the former Premier of Free State is charged for not acting on corruption, I'm asking a question from this committee. Why is Minister Cele and Mr. Ngadibing not being charged because they were presented with evidence of fraud and corruption.
Okay. No, thank you very much. No further questions, Chair.
Usepela gabotse mona Nombalo. And have a nice weekend. Honorable Shongwe, 20 minutes.
Oh, bese, oh, yebo, so no value.
Honorable Shongwe, 20 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. Sawubona Bamlando. Oh, Bamlando sacela amanzi. Uyaphila.
Siyaphila baba
Bamlando, I
Shongwe.
hope now awufuna amanzi. Wonke umuntu uphuza amanzi makhuluma mina. Anti why?
Yeah, look, I think it's the stress of the moment.
Siyabonga kakhulu. No, I think for me, you've stated out a lot. Ngokuya ngami nje ngabe ngithi asuseni le Roman dash law njengamanje. Iyona esivimbayo ukuthi bopha abantu. Because clearly we are delaying time and ziningi izinto ezikhona la. Question is, how do we find ourselves here according to you? Who should have stopped Lobaba Loba to Sbiya in the first place? Njengoba eqhubeke kangaka.
The nature of corruption and fraud happens in corners, happens in dark corners. It's the people who are doing it. The signatures that you see here, there's only one, and I must give him credit. There's a guy called, in the report of January 27, Mr. Kachwa. Mr. Kachwa refused. He signed there. He says, no, I don't agree. At least there's one official who stood up and he paid the price for it. He lost his job in the city of Johannesburg. So everybody who's a signature here, Honorable Shong, must answer. That's the first thing. But secondly, if me and you, to be employed, you must pass a competency assessment. Who are these people who appointed General Sibia without a competency assessment? And assuming that then you've appointed him, now you discover that he has failed. Why don't terminate?
Let's talk about this because in page 226, the people who signed, the first person who signs there is Christo Marias, who was the Organizational Development Director. Page 226.
Yes,
He signed, he agreed with it. This must happen.
yes,
Uba General Shetlak Sibia, Commissioner of Forensic Investigation, Sibia, signs.
using a bogus title.
Yes. Commissioner.
Yes,
Ruda Mbulelo, Group Head, Legal and Contract. Way lawyer ngempela lo baba.
yes,
Law signela.
yes.
Okay. Now there is Reggie, can't see this Reggie Roko or who? What is that?
Yes, so he says he approves the structure subject to final. So he is clear what he approves.
What's the name first there?
It's Reggie Hoc. I think-
Reggie Hoc.
Yes, he says.
So,
yes.
so he approves, but subjected to approval of budget.
Yeah, he approves the structure. And let's give him benefit for that. It's very specific what he approves.
So yena uthanda imali, ufuna ukuthi makunemali futhi approve mase kunemali.
We approve the organogram
Yeah.
subject to the budget. So I'm
I want to understand that, yeah.
yes, it's important when people say I only approve this. We know that that's what he approves. But this report is saying something else. So he's distancing himself deliberately from all other things that are happening in this report. He says I only approve the structure
Subjected.
subject to the budget.
Was the budget approved?
Of course, the structure was approved.
Therefore, Reggie Hoc approved this, agreed with them as well.
Approved the structure, yes.
All right. Now, there's no signature kuzodwa Manase, Chairperson Group Audit Committee. And there's a statement I balayo with her pen there. What is it? Can you read it for me?
No, this is not him who's writing. So that person did not sign anything. Chances are he may not have been available. So the person who signed is the Mr. Kuchwa. He says he doesn't agree.
Okay, before you continue, so are you saying the empty space there, Saga Zodwa Manase,
Yeah, no
may have
person
not
signed.
been available?
You know, chances are I was not there. Chances are this person was not available. That's why she would not have signed.
So this handwriting is for Umolwadi Khotsane. Umolwadi Khotsane.
Yes. Mulwadi Kuchwa, he says he doesn't agree with what is being said. This thing of changing.
Can you read it as it is? Because somewhere I can't see. It says, I do not agree with the underwriting.
I don't know of the post name of head of forensic, but he's just not. Look.
Distancing himself again.
Yeah, he's distancing himself to what is happening.
So he was sober, this one.
Yes, was sober. Yes.
Okay. Dr. Ndivoni Swani Lukhuwareni.
So-
Our secretary.
So this is a city manager. So he was only employed on the 1st of January 2017. Honorable Shongo, just to assist you. So when you think about who to hold responsible in the report of January 2017, you must go back to those who would have signed the report of 4 November and the legal opinion. So Dr. Lukwarini was not an employee of the city of Johannesburg. He doesn't know what preceded this.
But why did he sign? He's responsible.
Yes, I get that. I'm just saying to you that at this day he comes in as a city manager 1st of January. He only signs, and this is very important. He only signs on the 8th of February. The report has already been signed by the mayor on an earlier date. So if I were to come today in the city of Johannesburg, a report has been signed by everybody, including the mayor before me. Why would I doubt its veracity? And I spoke to him about this. I did call him to say, bro, were you aware what was going on? He says, look, the report came to me signed. I had no reason. The head of legal signed, everybody else signed, and it just comes to me in February. I've only started in January. Then I pen my signature. So that's what that is him.
So the last signature there was then Councillor Herman Mashaba, executive mayor.
Ordinarily, he should not have signed when the city manager is not signed. But if you look at it, he signed on the 11th of January 2017. The city manager signed only in February 2017. So when you think about this, you must always link it back to the events of November, because without those events, this picture it doesn't show. Why are we having a commissioner in January? Somebody who was just appointed about a month ago as a unit head.
Mr. Mlando, are you telling me ukuthi South Africa today is in this mess because DA and Herman Mashaba stood firm for General Sbiya onganayo competence?
My answer to you is, how do I sign behind you calling yourself something that you are not? How do I even allow you? How do I join a document, Honorable Chief Whip, where you are calling yourself a president? Because you are trying to occupy something that is not yours. You are a unit head, but and that's what you're employed. That's what you have applied for. That's what your appointment letter says. So,
Okay.
that's my answer to you.
So
This baffles the mind.
So you're saying to me, DA and the mayor, Herman Mashaba, they also got this legal advice from the legal department, but
Yes.
they still ignored it.
They accepted it with their own signatures. And I don't want to give you my theory about this. Maybe let me.
I would also like your theory.
Yes, my theory is simple. Is that when the legal advice came, there was no problem. Everybody has accepted it is the true fact.
And what was it saying?
The one that says, if you can't make this guy automatically the head of department,
Re-advertised.
you will have to re-advertise, make him redundant, retrench him, and he will have to apply like everybody else. That was accepted. Remember the report of the 4th of November says, the person to be appointed shall be on a contract, the head will be on a contract, but the unit head will. So that's a report of November. The legal opinion says you can't move him from the unit head to be the head of department, advertise and all of that. Everybody else is comfortable. My sense, and this is my theory, and I could be wrong, Honorable Skosan, is that I think this scheme was only tied up when they realized that their fellow is not appointable. When they realized that he failed a competency assessment. Even if now you wanted to make him a head of department, even if you wanted to follow the legal opinion, it was already clear that it's a lost cause. He's not going to make it. That's the only theory that I have about this. So what then do we do? Let's go and update our report of the 4th. Say things that are not true. Let this fellow sign
The
it.
report of the 4th.
The report of the 4th of November.
So it was updated
It was updated in
cover the-
January. updated in January 2017 to cover up this thing. That's why this fellow signs in January 2017 as a commission. What I like about it, he attached this report and placed it publicly in High Court. So the documents that we have here, Mr. Sibia says, I was appointed through a report of January 2017, I attach it.
So kahle kahle ubaba uSibiya isigebengu kahle kahle. Because asiqale la. Uqale wathi i-report yaka public protector uMkhwebane, uSiwe Mkhwebane. Iyamcleana. It says uclean. And he came here and used that report. I recall asking him, where's the second letter from the public protector? He was looking for that document till today. He's still paging his pages. So what was the first, in your knowledge, the first report from public protector saying, and the second one that came, and where they challenged Bano Herman Mashaba, the report of the public protector?
So in the first report of the public protector, the allegations were there was an irregular appointment.
Mhm.
The way it was done, they said, no, we regraded the position of the unit head.
Okay.
And it became, after we regraded it, it became a head of. So in other words, this was your position. We subjected to the grading chief whip. Then
Okay.
it became, they lied to the public protector. That's not what happened. I've just showed what happened.
Now they're lying to the public
So
protector now.
when we and Mr. Brink, Dr. Brink, decided to ask the lawyers to give us an opinion here, that's why we then took that advisory report to the public protector. That's when the public protector said, yeah, we did not know about these things. She even says, I did not even know that he failed a competence assessment. I did not even know that his job description was only decided months after he purported to be an HOD.
Already.
And that is written by Advocate Mkoba on a piece of paper. That's the first one.
Okay.
The second one is a letter of the SSA. The one that says, yeah, this fellow has got some equipment of interest. Right
That's
there.
what
and
I'm about to say. So that's the question I'm asking. Uthi, uyabona leli gondwane lisiqale lele kude la kupha la dlishize mase libuya seliyasiqeda ngapha. So are you trying to tell me, actually my mind is thinking ukuthi, had it been not uHerman Mashaba and DA appointing uSibiya ngama document afihliwe, we wouldn't be here. Because when you look at this thing of PKTT today, it dominates Sibiya. La ku wrong khona konke kunoSibiya. La ku wrong khona konke kunoSibiya. So are you telling me ukuthi our leaders then that led Joburg failed in South Africa,
Yes.
according to what you are giving us here?
Yes. So when I began to ask questions about this appointment,
Mm.
that was me in 2019, because I say that in my statement that I've started to deal with this thing in July 2019. Then when this fellow realized that I'm behind his heels and I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on, the next thing that he did, he sent people to the Eastern Cape to do an undercover operation to find a debt on me. There's a report, it's here.
How did he send you?
He sent people to the Eastern Cape
Or to find?
to conduct an undercover operation to find debt on my soul, because he wanted to destroy me before I come closer to this truth.
And who are these people? State resources were used?
You know, he sent two of his officials.
State resources were used.
Yes, they were booked hotels, hired cars. What you must understand, and this is not what people don't talk, this is what people do not talk about. When General CBI came in this department, he brought these guys that he was working with from the Hawks to work as investigators he brought former policemen to work with him. So these guys are used to follow orders. When they were told, go to the Eastern Cape, spend 3 days, find whatever debt that you can find on Mesul, bring it here, let's destroy him. They went. But fortunately, somebody told me about them. Then I immediately informed Herman Mashaba to say, look, Mr. Mashaba, this is what is happening. Go and open up a case against these people, because in our country, in terms of our National Strategic Intelligence Act, only crime intelligence officials, only SAPS officials could go and do an undercover operation. Here is a civil, because this is a civil right now. He's conducting undercover operations, trying to destroy.
What did
Amen.
Mashaba say to you?
Look, a meeting was called, and and it became a management meeting. But my letters, where I'm writing to him, signed by his office, are here, where I'm saying to him, get this guy arrested.
I don't think that was going to happen because Herman Mashaba says he praises Usibiya and says this is a competent person. That's from you, Babu Hemen Mashab. I don't think that was going to happen. Asidlule lapha, I want to find out ukuthi abobani abavimba le nkinga ngoba le nkinga iyasihlupha manje. Yabona? Page 92, you speak of his speaker blocking the report. Which speaker was that?
Our preliminary report was blocked by Councillor Dagama and Mayor Mpopalat.
The speaker, you spoke of a speaker there as well. Who was the speaker?
Speaker Councillor Dagama.
Or Takama?
Yes.
So naye uyivalile le nto. Oh, I thought it was Makubela as well.
No. Remember what we only managed to get this thing, a decision to investigate once Colin came in.
So Colin Makubela allowed this corruption ukuthi ibhekwe to be
Yeah,
probed.
that's when then we were able to take reports to council.
So politically it was blocked.
Seriously blocked. That's why CBI is given an opportunity to go and challenge us in court and still be given an opportunity to whip, not to be opposed. Because we must be silenced. Shut up. Shut up. And immediately after that, that's when me and Brink becomes targets. I mean, I had to resign on the spot, running away from this. Because once CBI went to the police, I realized that I can't be in the environment. Otherwise, it's going to destroy me.
Yeah.
Because the entire network, his network from the Hawks, was still in the city of Johannesburg. So I resigned in August and I stayed outside.
Before ngikhohlwa ubaba ucele ukuphikile ndoda uthi akakwazi. Yabona nami sengikhuluma fast njengawe manje. No, wrong. Ngihlehle. Ubaba ucele ukuphikile. Wathi akakwazi wena. Ayikho nento futhi ombhalele yona. Did you get any response from him or his office?
Yeah, but I read the email from the chief of staff, page 114, where the chief of staff says, we've brought these things. Look, I do think that he was denying me, and I mean, I remember it was Honorable Sokanyile. The guy was even panting the way he was denying me. And why? Is because right now nobody wants to be associated with Shadrack's V. That's why he had to deny me in the manner so aggressively, the way he was doing it on TV towards Honorable Sokanyile. If you wish you could run the video and see it for yourself, because he knows what he didn't understand was I've got an email from his chief of staff. That's the first thing. But the second thing is that the law allows me to write to the ministers. So he came here, he says, where do I get the title? I've got an answer for him. He must go and read Section 7 and Section 8 of the Protected Disclosures Act. He will find there that I've got a title to approach him. You can't have ministers ridicule executives, man, simply because they failed to do their job. And that's why I'm saying to you, Honorable Song, if the former Premier of Free State, one of his charges is a Section 34 breaker, he failed to act on evidence and allegations of fraud. Ismacha should call this thing an oversight charge when he ridicules it.
Yeah.
Why are we having these ministers coming here to mislead this house?
I think iphutha lethu on record I want to put this. Kumele ubaba uHemen Mashaba semvulele icala. Because now somewhere you state ukuthi uSibiya uacte kwiposition engaseyakhe anganikezwa ngayona. Now there's a salary adjustment there. And you once said he also upgraded. I also found information somewhere as well. Ukuthi uzikhuphulile wangena from 1.2 to 1.8 salary adjustment. Were you there when that happened? Were you still working there?
No, I came in on the 1st of November 2018. So it was hardly 6 months when this guy began to launch undercover operations against me. Because I was starting to ask look, when I came in, General Sibe was the feared person.
Whether why bobuza le mbuzo na bongeno yini?
Sorry?
Why bomgijimisa kangaka bekwenzakale?
Look, if you grew up in Mdanzane, you will know that there were certain police guys
Yes.
who were notorious.
Yes.
One of them was Mamo. When Mamo comes, we'll drive on a 60 zone by 180, and all of us will run. I hated them since then.
Yeah.
So I come in the city of Johannesburg, I find a major general, everybody else is tiptoeing around him.
Bamsaba.
Yes. When I began to ask questions, he launched an undercover operation. He went to manufacture allegations against me through an anonymous Google mail. And he accused me of all sorts of things. But the nice thing about it, and this is in the report, All his allegations were investigated by independent law firms. They are found to be baseless, have been intended only to harm and to hurt. And that's the Deputy National Commissioner that you have, is someone who thinks that when he's confronted by the truth, he must react clandestinely in a rogue fashion so as to harm and to destroy. We can't have him there.
But he's allowed by people. I just feel bad that my Honorable James has been out for
Thank you
this
so
time.
much. Thank you, Honorable Shonga.
Thank you.
Honorable Sokanyil. Your 20 minutes start now. Next is Honorable Matthys at past.
Be less than that. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Mandibulise Tatumland.
Goes, ma'am.
Looking at the procurement of this spyware equipment, what was it purchased for?
He was here, he says, I want to see, want to get into my office and see. You see, he came with a mentality that he is free to do what he wants to do. So he wanted to conduct unlawful investigations because only the South African Police Service are allowed by law to be in
Okay.
possession of that equipment.
So he bought that in 2017.
2019, April.
2019, okay. Then looking at the price that was requested for the spyware in page, I think it's 334. It's 18 million.
That's a budget.
Plus the estimated cost that was requested.
Yeah, for the entire war room. So you must know there was an entire war room, but then there was this spy equipment, the one of 7.9 million.
Or meaning that the 7.9 million was the correct price. It was not inflated.
We don't know. Remember, these things are not things that me and you can buy. I mean, we were hearing here, there was going to be a grab of 10 million. I don't know how these things, what's the price of these things. But what we do know is that 7.9 million was paid.
Who assisted in facilitation that this spyware? You must get it, Mr. Spear.
Honorable Sokanye, I'm under oath here. So what I can tell you is this, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know where this equipment are being bought from, but what I do know is that they are not necessarily brought inside the country. That I do know.
Otherwise, Mr. Mashaba assisted in the post that Mr. Spear is promoted in January when he was appointed to the correct post of being a unit manager.
Yes.
In November. Then in January, he's
The group head.
a group head.
Mm.
He assisted on that one.
The signatures speak for themselves.
Then he didn't assist in that war room. It must have the equipment now that they've put a person.
Look, Honorable Sokanye, I would think that I don't know. I mean, General Sibe was here. He says, I want to see what the hell is going on in the city. So I want to see, stay in my office, check things out. All I'm placing before you is that in terms of the SAPS Act, Section 64, municipalities do not have powers to investigate crime. We only have got powers to prevent crime. And those powers are the powers of the metropolis, not even his powers. So you had somebody here who was clothing himself with policing, with crime investigation powers. Unlawfully. So if General Masemula is watching, right now they should be bringing General Sibe to come and answer, why did you impersonate us as police when you are still on the other side? Because municipalities do not have powers to investigate crime. And that is why the SSA says this type of equipment is used for criminal investigation. And me and you, we can afford not to know that. A major general should know what equipment he ought to procure, to possess, and to deploy. I may not know. He can't afford not to know. He was a former head of the Hawks in Gauteng.
When Sibia was here in that chair where you are sitting at, when we asked him about you, that you are challenging his appointment in the city of Johannesburg, now that he was with SARS, he gave a report that says in fact, he knows you.
Yes.
He knows that you are a person who has been dismissed from one area to another.
Yes.
You were dismissed in Eastern Cape in 2008, is that so?
No. No. You see, it is this thing that whenever this fellow is asked to account, he must gaslight. I've attached here a report of the public protector in Buffalo City. It says the former mayor of Buffalo City, Comrade Kolapagat, went to submit a report to the council. In his report, he says there's no allegation, sorry, there's no evidence, none whatsoever that implicates him, the GM in the office of the city manager. There are no evidence, there is no evidence that implicates the city manager. It is here in the bundle, just that I'm tired, so can't really pick it up. So already there's a report of the public protector reflecting on the report of a mayor of Buffalo City. That's one report. Oh, here in this bundle, there is a report of the city manager of Ekurhuleni written to me and to Honorable Waters, who was the deputy chief whip of the DA at the time, where the city manager says, we have found evidence that what you and Mesulu were saying about Ekurhuleni is true. My settlement agreement, that report is here. So this is a fellow. That fellow loses it when he thinks about me. He really loses it. Because I'm the only person in the city of Johannesburg who just stood up to him and started to ask questions. So that's why he must gaslight. The last thing that he said here, which I expect this committee to go and charge him for lying. He said, hey, that Mesul employed somebody at HR who had a health qualification. Do you know what degree is that? He says, I've employed somebody at HR who have got a health qualification. This person that I've employed have got a degree in organizational and industrial psychology. Is that a health qualification? No. But because he must come here when he's being asked to account, he must tell lies. It has been his modus operandi. I've survived this fellow for 5 years, doing all sorts of things, lying about me. But the nice thing about it, all his allegations were investigated and the investigation reports are here. That's Chief Whip, the Deputy National Commissioner, somebody who manufactures things as he goes. I am not shocked of the allegations that are being made about General Sibi. I am not shocked. I expected them because it is his modus operandi.
So are you talking about, is this Andile Kwababa?
Yes. Yes. If I may be assisted as to where her qualification is. Because he came here and he said, I employed somebody who have got a what to call a health qualification. And I've requested her graciously to say, look, can I have the copy of your degree? Because the committee would want to see this health qualification. Can I be assisted so that at least you can see where it is? You know? But it is here.
No, really, when former Minister Cele was here, he said, you didn't write any letter. In fact, how can you write a letter to him being a junior official? he doesn't take letters to junior officials. Then meaning that himself and the PA or the chief of staff in the office, they're not talking about the correspondence that are there.
No. I think that the chief of staff was honest enough to say to me, Minister Cele has been given the reports. The only problem right now, nobody wants to associate themselves with General CB. So even if I was Mr. Cele, chances are I was going to come here and lie. I was not going to say,
He's afraid of Mr. Smear.
no, because he's afraid of the consequences of having failed to act when he was given evidence of improper and unlawful conduct of General CB in the city of Johannesburg, because he was supposed to have acted. He didn't act. Instead, he allowed him to be promoted to be a deputy national commissioner. So even if I was him, given the climate and the negative attention that comes to be associated with General CB, perhaps I was going to lie myself and be like General Cele. Here is the problem. Maybe I can afford to lie, but I doubt if somebody was occupying such a serious position in our state can come here and gaslight this committee. I doubt. Because then if it's allowed at the level of former ministers, then you can't complain when people like us come here and give you lies. So the qualifications on page 456, that's the qualification of Ms. Kwababa. As you can see, it's a degree in organizational psychology and industrial psychology. He calls this a health qualification in HR.
Yeah. Okay. Then when Smear went from the city of Johannesburg, leaving that war room that he has set up, do you think he left some of his people there who were giving him information about what was happening? Because if it's a spyware, it is used to spy on other people. I'm taking from the name being a spyware.
Yeah, it's an electronic spyware. So what it does, it reads computers, it reads servers without you knowing.
It will take information from
It will.
computers.
And your
of the
cell
people.
phones.
Then don't you think it's taking that information if it was installed
We-
by him leaving the people who were operating there? Because maybe some of Amatole work are still there within the office. Don't you think so?
What I do know is that when he came in the city of Johannesburg, he brought his former police guys. So I don't know how strong his network is. I don't know. But by the time he was living in Dunedin, we had already exposed this thing. So we doubt if somebody else was still operating it. That's one answer to it. But even if you are not operating it, the law says you can't possess it. That's section 45, subsection 1 of RECA. You can't even possess it. So whoever is keeping this thing there is incriminating himself. And the reason why now we are forced to keep this thing is because the NPA is not charging. Now we are sitting with an equipment that just possessing it is a crime, but there's nothing we can do about it because the authority that is supposed to charge him is running rings around evidence.
I can see that you're very much frustrated for reporting corruption and fraud done by a person who's being the deputy national commissioner, put at the head or at the helm of the SAPS. Then we became very much frustrated and being given the opportunity of presenting yourself to the Hoc Committee when we called public and civil society. At least you saw that as a relief, not so.
Yes, I think I'm thankful to General Mkwanas because he called my name. He called my name because I had already given up on this thing to say maybe nothing will come from this thing. So I'm thankful to General Mkwanas. But behind me is young people who acted as whistleblowers to give us this information. I came in the city in 2018. It's people who's whistleblowers who trusted me and Dr. Brink enough to give us this information. Behind me, there's other people. Behind me is a journalist who was working for Daily Maverick, who exposed this story, is Queenine Muswabi. Behind me is other people who exposed this thing. I might be the mouthpiece of it. I might be the one who was confrontational enough about it, but I'm not alone here. I'm representing voices of men and women who are sick and tired of this thing, of being bullied, being chased like rabbits by somebody who have failed the competence assessment, who's not supposed even to be there in the very first place. So that's what I'm carrying behind me. I'm carrying hopes of many people.
Okay, no, thank you. Thank you, Chairperson. I finished.
Your 20 minutes start now, Honorable Matthys. It's ending at 19, it's
Chair.
ending at 19:45.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna go as quick as possible. I like yes and no answers, and I can see you have lots of explanations, but let's just try and go. I think you've given us a lot of explanations. Let's start off with, you're the one who took the steps to report, Mr. Sabia, or Lieutenant General Sabia. Why not the actual city manager? Why did you lodge the report?
Which city manager, MP?
The acting city manager, was it Brink? When you wrote the letter to make a complaint to
No,
the ministers,
no.
you were,
Yeah.
what, okay, explain that. Were you not the
Remember-
executive director in the city manager's office?
Remember, me and Mr. Brink, we commissioned a preliminary investigation in the advisory report. Brink signed off on that advisory report.
No,
No.
that's not what I'm asking. The letter that you sent, right, to the ministers, right? Especially, particularly Minister Tele, it was from you,
Yes.
right? I'm asking, why wasn't it from the city manager or acting city manager in particular?
Oh, you are asking why I became the source?
Yeah,
No, there are no rules.
I beg your pardon?
There are no rules.
There's no
rules.
rules.
Yes.
No, I'm not asking about the rules. I'm just saying, was he not in support of you lodging the complaint?
No. At that time, Mr. Brink is pushed out. He's on suspension, Dr.
Okay,
Brink.
so who was acting in the position at the time?
It was a guy, if I still remember, called T.N. Alice.
And he was not in support of
He's
lodging?
the one who was told.
Just yes or no, like, let's
No,
just
no,
try
no,
to,
Can- You are asking me about T.N. Alice, and I'm saying to you that it is the same guy who was told not to oppose CBI in court.
okay.
So he was asking him to go and
So he
report
did
CBI.
not support it. That's all you have to
No,
say.
he was under clear political instructions by Mpopa Lads, period.
Okay, and I need us to have a nice engagement because I don't want you to be on the defensive. I'm asking.
No,
these
I'm not in the
questions.
defensive,
No,
Pastor Matthys.
a little bit. Let's go. Okay, so that's all I wanted to make sense of. Okay, so let's go to, he was appointed under the city manager of Trevor Bola. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, were you in the COJ at that time?
No.
Oh, you weren't. Okay, no problem. When did Fola leave?
I would think that because Dr. Lukwani started on the 1st of January 2017, he must have left in December 2016.
Okay.
I would think so.
Was it, so was it around the time of the new government? Because we had elections in 2016.
Yes,
know when it
remember,
was-
yes, it would have been at that time because Councillor Mashaba takes over, I think at that time,
Yeah.
in November 2016.
Okay. So it was because of the DA coming in that Trevor Fola left. They wanted a new city manager.
Remember, we work on 5-year contracts, so I would think
Oh, his
that,
contract was over.
I would think so because I was not there.
Oh, okay. I'm not, if it's fine that you don't know. Okay. And but they had an option of extending his contract if they liked.
I'm not sure about that.
That's fine. Let's go to the report. You submitted the TZN attorneys
Yes.
report. How did it come about that they were appointed to do an investigation? How did it come about?
We got this dossier from whistleblowers, me and Dr. Brink. My advice to him was, there's just too much information. Let's give it over to lawyers to review these documents and give us an advisory report.
Oh, okay. So, was this supported by the mayor and the speaker?
No,
Mashaba?
no, it was us in the office of the
Okay,
city manager.
so, okay, it had nothing, but did they know that you were doing, an investigation or you appointed, TZ attorneys?
We're not doing an investigation, we're seeking an advisory report.
Okay, all right, right, okay. Did they know about it?
No, they were, if you protect whistleblowers, you don't, up until you clear what the investigation, what the documents are saying,
It's just,
to protect the whistleblowers, so we don't disclose certain things prematurely like that. That's why we only, once we had the advisory report, then we produce it to them.
okay. And then how,
We submitted it to them, sorry. So I was just saying, we submitted the report to them once it was there, the advisory report.
let's breathe a little bit. Okay, and then, when you got the report, because the report is very detailed and I think it pretty much covers, your entire testimony. How was the report processed internally?
As I indicated in my evidence, the report was blocked. Nothing happened. We saved the copy to the speaker, Dagama, and the copy to Councillor Palazzi. They sat on it.
Councillor who?
Palazzi. So they both sat on the report.
But it was submitted.
Instead, we gave it to Councillor Palazzi. What Councillor Palazzi then did, instead of submitting a report to the council, he went to get a legal opinion from Weber Wenzaki.
In that report, I want you to go to it, and it's on page 42. Because it explains what happened with the public protector, because Sabia was here and he said the public protector found no wrongdoing in his appointment, and I think my colleagues have touched on it. But I think it's important for you to read paragraphs 3.12 and 3.13.
Page?
It's on page 42, pagination 42.
Okay.
But it starts on 43, I think what I would like you to read, MM2.
On page 43.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see paragraphs 3.12 and 3.13. Can you read that?
Yes, it is noted that some of the allegations regarding Mr. Sibia's employment were in 2018 to the Office of the Public Protector. It found no wrongdoing with the appointment of Mr. Sibia and with the establishment of JFIS. What we have noted is that the Public Protector did not take into consideration that the position of the unit head and the group head were two separate positions and were regulated by different employment laws and policy requirements.
And then 3.13?
Needless to say that the above allegations of conversion of Mr. Sibia's appointment and an alleged unlawful operation of his department were not part of the complaint considered by the Public Protector. We also noted that the evidence supplied to us by the whistleblower was not provided to the city by the city to the Public Protector. This is evident from the attached response from the city to the Public Protector and the extract from the report of the Public Protector, which are attached here too, as Annex COJ 8 and COJ 9.
Okay, so he wasn't necessarily cleared, as he said, of wrongdoing. It was based on a different report. Let's go to his appointment letter.
If I may add, MP, there's also a letter of the Public Protector herself saying
Yes.
that. So it's not just only
Yeah, I
the TZ
understand that.
attorneys.
Yeah, because you mentioned that with one of the other. I
Yes.
just wanted to show that it was connecting.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem.
So he was never cleared.
That's where I was going. Thank you. The appointment letter also says that it was subject to him obtaining top secret security clearance. Did he get it while he was in the appointment?
We only saw a copy. He was supposed to have gotten it in 2016, 2017. We only saw a copy when we asked for it in 2022.
And it had which date on it? Is it part of your bundle? I didn't see.
No, it's not part of my bundle. It was only, in actual fact, it was dated 2022. So he only got it somewhere March, April 2022.
So you served almost 5 years. Was it 5?
He served 5 years without one.
Page 226, and my colleague also went through that on the,
226.
who didn't sign the structure. There was the revised structure,
22?
226, page 226.
Yes.
So there was the chairperson of the group audit committee didn't sign. Do you know why?
No, I don't know. MP
problem.
Mateus. I don't know because I was not in the, it's 226.
226, yeah,
Yes, I was not in the city at the time.
all right.
And we just focused on the ones that signed, literally.
Sibia told us that he did not procure any tools or instruments that were classified as counterintelligence. Let's go to, there's a list, and it's also on page 44 of the TZ report.
Page
So there's a
44.
list of, yeah, page 44. So there's a list of 10 tools. I want you to also go to page 51 in particular and state the laws that prohibit the purchase of these tools. Page 51.
Yeah, on page 51. So our reading of these laws even in the report, they're just being mentioned.
Yeah, that's
So if I were to advise in this regard, they get settled by the letter of the SSA. So the attorneys that we're writing here are not necessarily people who are trained in this. Yes.
just to mention them. You don't have to read them in detail.
The laws
Yeah.
is the Cyber Crimes Act, is the local government regulations on appointment and conditions of employment of senior managers, the Cyber Crimes Act number 19 of 2020. Then there's RICA, the Regulation on Interception of Communications and Provisions of Communications Related Information Act, number 70 of 2002. And then the next page is the National Strategic Intelligence Act, number 39 of 994, followed by the Municipal Structures Act, number 17 of 1998.
Okay. So there's quite a few.
There's
And
quite
then-
a few, yes.
Yeah.
And I dealt with them briefly when I was presenting
Yeah.
earlier to say your appointment, your conditions of service, your delegations must make it to the council for you to be an HOD.
But I wanted you to deal specifically with the purchase of the spyware,
Sure,
but
sure.
I get that. State Security Agency, when they did their inspection, who initiated it?
So once we got the advisory report, we served it to Councillor Palazzi and Councillor Dagama, and then we served one to the State Security Agency, to the Public Protector, I think to the IOG, Inspector General of Intelligence. So once that was done, then Councillor Palazzi wrote to the State Security Agency to say they must come and do inspection.
So was that something that would be a normal procedure, or was it because there was an alert that, okay, this equipment might not be what the COJ should be procuring?
Look, I don't know what would have motivated Councillor Palazzi, but what was clear to us was that she was hoping to have something that is going to clear this allegation that the city of Johannesburg have got a spyware. I'm saying this because once the letter of the SSA came, Councillor Palazzi organized a press briefing next to the Hillbrow police station. He read the letter. He did not read the paragraph that says there's a digital forensic equipment in the city of Johannesburg, and then he told the
Okay,
media
I want you
that it
to,
were cleared.
so when you went through that process, we missed a lot of it, right? when you explained about the inspection of the state security
Yes.
agency, right? And the evidence leader read you through and you explained, but you went very quick and we missed a lot.
Yes.
So I want you to explain their report
The,
or the state security agency. What did they say? Like, and just take your time in explaining it because you went very fast
okay.
and you were very passionate about it. I don't know if my colleagues got it, but I missed, I
Okay.
didn't quite understand which part you were saying that
Okay.
the state security didn't deal with.
All
Whether
right.
the state security agreed that the equipment was fine or what's
Sure.
the story. So take us through just.
It's on page
slowly.
126.
Yeah.
It's a letter written by the Director General
Mhm.
of the State Security Agency. And then the heading is there, referral to the State Security Agency of possible offenses. Says your letter dated 16 April requesting the State Security Agency to investigate the procurement of alleged intelligence gathering equipment by GFIS and any possible violation of the SSA mandate serves as a reference. Please be informed that the SSA did conduct an inspection, analysis and test of the equipment that was procured by GFIS in order to determine whether it is defensive or offensive. 3, in light of the above inspection analysis of the instruments and equipment which the GFIS is in possession, as per the invoices and receipts from suppliers, the SSA can confirm the following. The instruments in questions are technical surveillance countermeasures equipment. TSCM equipment is utilized for identification of eavesdropping devices and cannot be repurposed to perform any other offensive function or collective function. It is not intelligence gathering equipment as alleged. So that's the TSCM. And then I turn the page. Then they say a private company conducted the training of the COJ functionaries in the utilization of the equipment independently without any sanctioning or involvement of the SSA. And this is important because General Sibia says it was authorized by the SSA. Then the last one, it says the SSA did not provide the manual referred to in the letter. The manuals are documents that are freely available on the internet and can be accessed by any individual at the following website. So they deny authorizing him, they deny even training him. Here's the second equipment on paragraph 4. The other equipment of interest that was found in the COJ war room during the inspection is a digital forensic equipment, the DFE, which is the science of acquiring, preserving, retrieving, and presenting data that has been processed electronically and stored on a computer media and is governed by Electronic and Communications Transactions Act 25 of 2002 and does not fall within the domain of intelligence laws. It is normally utilized during crime investigations. So that's the second equipment. So these are the two equipments. Then, but they say this one doesn't fall within the domain of intelligence laws. It falls under the communications laws, basically. And then it says, in light of the above, the SSA would like to conclude there was no contravention of its governing legislation, which is intelligence laws, and as alleged in the letter. So in other words, the SSA says, it is not true that our laws that are governing us, that are governing our environment, were contravened. This particular equipment belongs to another regime of legislation. So it tells you that it's the ECTA. The ECTA, you read it together with RICA, because the one was passed just the ECTA was passed first and then the RICA was passed after. It is in section 44 where it says, this type of equipment, for you to procure it, you have to get authorization from the Minister of Justice, and it's only allowed to be in possession of the South African Police, our Vodacom, mobile telecom, and I can't remember the third one. And that is in the government gazette notice. It's not something that I say. And I think it's attached here, that government gazette notice.
Yeah, you have. All right.
Sorry that I did not, was not fair enough in that regard. If I may.
Quite fast and passionately, and it went over our heads.
Yeah,
a
it's
little
on,
bit, but
the government gazette is on MM15, paragraph 127 to 129. That's what the government gazette tells you. So if it's not there, if you want to procure this thing, need authorization from the Minister of Justice.
So who saw that letter? And there was no action, you saying again, from the city, even the State Security Agency, DG, who wrote the letter, did not act on it. They just wrote the letter and just left it.
That's the point. Exactly the point.
So we must note that in
Exactly the point.
our legal team, so we can at least write, I mean, we don't have necessarily to have them as witnesses, but to explain after they wrote that letter, what action did they take after that? Because where is this equipment now? It's by-
Thank you. Bangazita.
Ah. It can't be 20 million.
No, you can count from 25 minutes past to.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
It's up until 5 minutes past 8.
I don't think that I will take that much, Honorable Chairperson. Good evening, Honorable.
Yeah, good evening, MP.
Well, I was actually looking at the covering letter written by your lawyer there on paragraph 3.
I don't have it with me.
And I asked myself whether it was just by coincidence or by design that your statement that you requested the MK party to actually ensure the delivery of this statement to Parliament. Was it actually by coincidence or design?
No, it was intentional. We wanted to make sure that it is delivered. It is hand delivered because we were concerned, given what it says, that the intelligence community might.
You not have asked any other party?
Sorry?
Would you have asked any other party if it
No,
was available?
No, I wouldn't. You would have heard me in my evidence in chief that chief whip was a speaker, as a speaker in the city of Johannesburg. So I know her personally.
Okay, thank you. Well, the findings of the SIIC, which was a structure created by the speaker to investigate in terms, I mean, that's your 9.23 paragraph 9.23. I mean, what happened to the findings of the SICs? What is it? SIIC.
SIIC.
Paragraph. Its findings. What happened to the findings of that investigation?
Paragraph 9.2.
It's 9.2, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I said, MP, was that that committee is experiencing challenges. One, there's a question of budget. Two, there's just mainly it's a question of budget. So the city is unable to continue funding this investigation so that it gets to finality because of financial challenges that the city is having. So they have not yet released their report, but I was informed that they might release an interim report, but that has not yet happened.
At the point of Mr. Sbia's reappointment by SARS, was this information actually available to the National Commissioner, or was the National Commissioner aware of all these things that are actually being alleged in your statement?
No, I served my reports to the Office of the Minister of Police as the executive authority. So I don't know, because he was here, he even denied receiving my report, so I don't know what he did about them.
It is possible that at the point when Sbia was reappointed, the hierarchy of the police were already unaware of this.
I wouldn't speak for them, MP, for a simple reason is that the minister was here. He even denied knowing about them. So if the very person that I wrote to began to ridicule me and to ridicule my reports, so I won't even know what else he would have done in his campaign to ridicule everything.
There's a DLR report on your paragraph 11. You know, you served that report was served also to Honorable Tele, Minister Tele, and Minister Nkadime. Okay. But I'm not too sure what actually happened.
No.
after that.
The Zebedila report was not served on them to Minister Nkadime because it was an advisory report. Because at this time, that advisory report, remember, General CBI this time have got an order setting it aside. So we were not going to serve it. So we had to, I had on my side to formulate a summary report of what the issues are and place it before the ministers. Because had I attached that report, the first thing what was he going to say to the minister? No, I've been cleared by the court. It has been set aside. And he was not going to tell the minister. That was not an investigation report. That was an advisory report, legal advice.
Were you already in COJ employ when all of these things actually happened?
No,
Some of them actually predates your
yes.
employment.
Yes, I joined in November 2018. So you could say that it's a spy equipment that was bought in 2019. And as I was saying to you, there are whistleblowers that comes to the office of the city manager who brought these things to our attention.
In paragraph 12.3, my colleague actually has also alluded to that, where the public protector of South Africa found that Mr. Spear was lawfully appointed on the basis of the information that was provided to the public protector. However, in her letter to Mr. Ellis on paragraph 3, she concedes that she actually had not been given all the information by COJ. And she made an undertaking that she would actually, that is paragraph 9 of that letter,
Yes.
that she would actually take the matter to SAPS. Has that happened?
Yes. So in paragraph 9, she says two things. She says, we are at liberty to confirm that the information revealed by Mr. Brink above, in particular the competency assessment report and the non-approval by council of the conditions of service, were not disclosed to the investigation team. So she then says she's going to lay a criminal case with the South African police. There was a criminal case registered, MP Mwangu, but we've got this problem with the NPA. The NPA doesn't see the things that me and you and it sees. Again, here we're told, regardless of what the public protector says here, we're told that the NPA decided not to prosecute. And we don't have anything in writing. So how can a head of a Chapter 9 institution telling the NPA that I was misled, then the NPA says, well, if you were misled is your problem, we're not going to prosecute. And yet misleading the public protector is a crime. That's what we're dealing with here.
Information of some irregularities that were actually involved in the appointment of Mr. Spear. Now, what is her finding?
I'm glad
the
that
status of her finding now.
I'm glad that you asked this question because there's a perversion of the jurisprudence of the Constitutional Court on this subject. Because when General Sibiya was here, he said the public protector have got no power to review her finding. That's nonsense. The public protector have got no power to review findings on matters she has investigated. If the public protector investigate oranges, and then it discovers that you also stole apples, you can't say because she investigated and found you cleaning oranges, she can't investigate for apples. That is nonsense. So what should have happened here is that another investigation should have been initiated. And I think she trusted, in my view, the fact that she reported to the NPA for this conduct to be dealt with. So that's the only theory that I can bring in this regard.
Understood. The mayor, Mr. Mashaba, or the former mayor, the mayor at the time, takes the matter on review. That is the public protector's report, if I'm not mistaken.
In respect of findings made against him, not in
Okay.
respect of findings made against any other person.
So where is that review now? Has it been decided upon?
Yeah,
or not?
yeah, it has been decided. So it was not on this, it was not on the case of General Sibiya, it was on something else. I just can't remember what were those findings.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. Can we take a break, honorable members, and come back at 8:30? We take the last lap. Honorable Skosana, are you ready? No, I'm just checking if you, I'm not saying it's your time to speak. I'm just checking if you are ready. Honorable Sols, are you ready?
Yes, Chair, I am.
Yeah. There is no way. The witness has displayed a lot of energy. I don't think he will run away. Okay. No, the witness will join us shortly. Are you ready, Honorable James? Chief Whip? Okay. So the four of you are the difference between us and tomorrow. The difference between us and tomorrow is the four of you. Honorable Sols, Honorable James, Honorable Skosana, Chief Whip.
Chair, can we confirm my time, please?
Yeah, it's 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You see, today, because I'm very happy, and the Chief Whip knows why, I'm giving you 20 minutes, all of you. Today, there is no alternate, there is no full member. You are members of my committee, all of you. Yeah, you are all my people. Yeah. Mr. Mlandu, welcome. Honorable Souls, your time will end at 20:54.
Thank you, Chairperson. Mr. Blando, good evening.
Good evening, Honorable Member.
Chair, I think it's very important for the record. I wish to proactively disclose that I served as the member of the mayoral committee during the tenure of former executive mayor, Dr. Mpho Phalatse. And whilst the witness statement provided by Mr. Mlandu does not specifically name me, it makes serious allegations of concealment and administrative irregularity against the administration under Mayor Mpho Phalatse and the mayoral committee as a collective body during that period. He does so by citing a resolution that uses the terms together with the mayoral committee. Because I believe that public trust is non-negotiable, I want to clarify my position. And I'm not here to hide behind collective anonymity. If this committee or the witness requires further clarity on the executive decisions made during my tenure, I am fully prepared to take the witness stand and testify under oath. I hold myself to the same standard of accountability that I demand of any other public official implicated in such a testimony. In terms of our terms of reference and scripture that says, do unto others what you would want to have them do unto you. It is vital for the public to note that the most severe financial allegations including the 3.5 million fraud and the alleged 580 million irregular expenditure stem from administrative actions and reports dated January 2017. These events occurred years before I or my party joined the mayoral committee. The record shows that when matters concerning Mr. Sibia were brought to the mayoral committee, they were accompanied by reports from the city's human capital and legal departments. These official documents certified that all processes were in compliance with all city policies and legislation. As political heads, we are required to rely on the professional advice of the accounting officer and technical experts. I'm committed to uncovering the truth. I will not allow my presence here to be used as a shield for anyone, nor will I leave room for potential deceptive narratives about my astute party and myself as a person. I look forward to the witness's testimony, and if this House so requires for me to testify, I'll do so, and I will continue to perform my oversight duties with the neutrality and the rigor that the public deserves. So, Honorable Chair, you will provide guidance.
No, you can proceed.
Is it?
You can proceed to have conversation with the witness, Honorable. I don't think there is anything that impedes you, unless if the witness has reservations.
Not at all, Chairperson. I will be glad to engage with Honorable Source.
Thank
He
you,
was my,
Mr.
he was
Blanco.
my MMC.
Which party were you representing at the time, Honorable Source?
The fastest growing party in this country, led
This-
by the most astute
the-
leader, His Excellency Gayton Mackenzie, the Patriotic Alliance on Sbaizane. And by the way, we are the sixth largest party in this country.
Yeah, no, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. Mr. Blanda, your evidence in paragraph 8.2 and the accompanying documents point to the foundation of what you call the bogus structure being laid in reports dated January 2017, signed by the former mayor and the group head of legal. Can you confirm for the record that the individuals and parties serving on the mayoral committee in 2022, such as myself, had absolutely no hand in the creation, the signing, or the initial approval of these 2017 documents?
Chairperson, thank you, and thanks to the members of the committee. Indeed, by 2022, this illegality was done and dusted, especially around making General CBI a bogus head of department in the city of Johannesburg. And I must also confirm that when me and Dr. Brink facilitated the production of the advisory report, the advisory report was given to Councillor Takama and Councillor Mpopalazi. We are aware that that report was suppressed through a legal opinion that was sought by Councillor Palazzi. So that I can confirm that Honorable Souls, there's nothing that comes close to him in this regard.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mlando. You know, as a leader that champions whistleblowers, that's what it seems like in your report. Do you consider yourself a whistleblower?
No, I'm a voice of many women and many men who are behind me, who trusted me and Dr. Brink enough to tell us what the hell was going on. So I'm just their voice. I'm the voice of the journalists who exposed this, and I must repeat, Queen Maswabi from Daily Maverick then. She took a risk to expose this thing, and she paid the price for it. But we're here nonetheless.
You're a very brave man. I'm going to ask you a direct question that I have asked many before you. Because your submission to us is centered around General Sibia, Mr. Mlando, is General Sibia corrupt?
The documents that are before us, Honorable Souls, indicates that he employed a bogus title, survived through a bogus title, benefited through a bogus title, and 3.5 million through a bogus title, and the status of an HOD through a bogus title. So everything about him is bogus. He was a bogus HOD. And if somebody who's a bogus HOD ending fraudulently in the city is not corrupt, then we don't know what corruption is.
I would think that you know what corruption is. So I repeat, is General Sibia corrupt?
Any person who misrepresents himself to benefit, that person is corrupt.
Is that a yes?
It's a yes. He was appointed as a unit head. That's his appointment.
Mr. Mlando, the National Commissioner, General Masamula, has a legal and constitutional duty to ensure the integrity of the SAPS. Given that your evidence regarding the spyware crimes and the failed competency assessments has been in the public domain, how is it possible that the National Commissioner proceeded with Mr. Sibia's appointment? Does this represent a deliberate oversight or a total collapse of the SAPS vetting system, or both?
I would think that is the latter. I will say that they did not do a vetting. I accept there are two appointments of General Sibia, by the way, at SAPS. There's a one that is imposed by the court when it goes back to be a component head. I take no issues with that because the court had made a determination. I do have a serious issue with the second one as a Deputy National Commissioner, because there what was required was for General Masimula to do a vetting. The Council of the City of Johannesburg on the 21st of June 2023 decides that it's going to investigate General Sibia for fraud, for corruption and maladministration. 9 days later, on the 1st of July, he's promoted to be a Deputy National Commissioner. What that indicates is a National Commissioner who did not do proper vetting.
And what do you say about that?
Well, I'm very careful, Honorable Soros, in the language that I use in my statement. I call this a national security breach, a clear national security breach, because it's important that the man who's going to be second in charge of our policing must be beyond reproach.
So, General Sibia, based on your testimony, General Sibia is corrupt. And based on your testimony, General Masamula is guilty of a clear national security breach.
Yes, both him and General Bekele and the former Minister of Coct. Because the obligation, once I placed these matters before them, they had a duty to act, and that's a constitutional duty. It's confirmed by the Constitutional Court in the Kumalo judgment. It's part of my affidavit. It's paragraph 35 and 36 of that judgment. People who are in positions of authority, once they are notified of an illegality in the administration, the Concord says they've got three obligations. 1, they must investigate. 2, they must correct. 3, they must remedy. It is no longer the public protector. It is no longer the Auditor General. It is no longer the SIU. That obligation is shared amongst all public authorities. That's the first thing. But the second thing is this, is that Section 34 of the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act imposes an obligation on all public authorities when we are alerted to evidence and allegations of fraud and corruption, that we must bring them to the attention of law enforcement agencies. The question is, did Minister Ngadimeng, did Minister Cele, did those two ministers comply with their obligations in terms of the Constitution and in terms of the law? I don't know. But what I do know is that a former minister was here ridiculing me. That I do know. As to whether he complied with his obligations, it's clear from the ridicule, from the agenda, from the campaign of ridiculing me, that he did not. And I'm asking this committee, if the former Premier of Free State is charged for contravening contravening Section 34. Why is the NPA choosing who to charge and not to charge?
Do you have an answer to that question?
That's why I'm also accusing in my statement that the NPA is as guilty of committing a national security breach, because what they have done by not charging General Sibi, they have created a situation where he got elevated and got promoted to be the second in charge in our policing, system.
Is your testimony then that the NPA is also corrupt?
At this stage, I'm restricting myself to say they've committed a national security breach. You would think if you are a prosecuting authority, you would think that when you get allegations and evidence of this nature, this is graphic, you would think that that prosecuting authority would act. Let me place it differently. That prosecuting authority arrested General Kumalo at the airport for sitting on an interview. Here I'm giving you records of somebody who positioned himself through a bogus title to earn fraudulently in the seat. That NPA said it refuses to prosecute. We can't have that. If this constitutional state is to survive, there must be consistency in the application of the rule of law.
You say that you were threatened by General Sibia.
Yes.
In WhatsApps. Can we quickly go through those WhatsApps? What was the specific threats? I must admit, I can't find MM1 in the bundle. I could only find on page 440 a WhatsApp by General Sibia. Could you point me to the...
It's 440 and it's 441.
Is that the only one?
There are two.
There are two.
Yes. The second one is threatening
Yeah, let's read.
more than the other.
Let's read that one.
441.
Well, if there's other WhatsApps, you can point me to it. But as I said,
It's 441.
the index says there are others at MM1 from page 12 and so on, but I can't find that.
It's
And then
There are
there's
two.
Then there are 440.
440 and 441.
All right, I'm there. Let's read what you call a threat to you.
I'm saying you have to read them, both of them. The first one comes in, and again, it was not sent to me.
Yeah.
Whistleblowers bring these things to my attention. He says, this guy is malfunctioning. And the context, before I read the text, what you see underneath that text is the report that I would have given to the minister. He attaches my report to the minister first. Then he writes on top of it that this guy is malfunctioning, is currently shortlisted in 2 positions. I don't know why the city is not able to deal with this boy. Now, you see, you can call Xhosa men boys if you want to, but he knows that he's insulting me. You don't do that. So he's obsessed with me. I can't be obsessed with another man. I've placed evidence before you. It's not obsession, it's documents that he himself is so obsessed with me. He's not normal at all. There is no way, no normal person can behave like this. He's just overwhelming. I want you to tell me, I want you to tell me, I think there's a typo there, that he should try and focus on his career and stop chasing after people. I'm not interested in him. He should stop now. The state security are investigating for as long as the state security hasn't produced a report. No one will be able to assist him. He's a brilliant young man who's destroying his career by trying to bring other people down. His kind of obsession is very worrying. He needs help and must consider seeing a psychologist. Please go and tell there's a missing him. What I'm saying, before he knows it, the whole country will be knowing about him. What does that mean?
What exactly is the threat? Point me to the threat.
Yeah, the reference that
And remember, it's how you perceive it. So I'm not
Yes.
questioning. So what exactly is threatening to you?
yes, the reference that before I know it, the whole country will be knowing about me.
Is that the threat?
This is, yes, because the person who writes this is not like me and you, is a person who have got state capacity. He's a head, component head of organized crime in our national police at this point in time. I don't take, when a senior police official writes something like this, it's not something that you can take light, because at this time, he's a major general, back again the major general in the South African police.
Is there any other WhatsApps that has more serious threats? Not that in your view is not a threat. I take it from you how you perceive it. Is there any other WhatsApps you want to read to us that specifically threatens your life or?
No, what he then did, he asked a friend of mine to speak to me. He says he wants a meeting. He wants to talk to me. He's not fighting and all of that. And I said to him, go and tell Shadrach that if he wants a meeting with me, I know him during the Mashaba time. Let him and Mashaba be the one who's going to facilitate the meeting between me and him. And there was a reason for that. Because when he went to do an undercover operation about me for 3 days in the Eastern Cape, I reported him to him and Mashaba. So
I have to, because my time is almost up. My last question, Mr. Mlam, and I apologize for interjecting.
sure, no problem.
But just so that you are able to close on this one,
Sure.
what do you want to happen to General Sibia?
Yeah, if I
In
were
terms
to
of the
close,
law,
if I were to close, Honorable Suppose, we're asking, is there another threat? So when I refused to see him, he told my friend that he's going to fight.
he's gonna
Fight me.
fight you.
Yes.
All right.
So your next question, what do I want to see happening to RCB? Is that the question?
Yes, sir.
No.
Given, I mean legally now, not talking about personally. I'm talking about you are testifying he's corrupt. You are testifying he's in the, well, we know that he's in the senior brass of the SAPS, and there has been a breach of national security, and that puts South Africans at risk. What, according to the law, based on what you know and what you can prove, must happen to General Sibia?
Your question is poised, but misdirected, because I don't need to do anything. I must look at what happened to General Kumalo. I must look at what happened to Daniel Mtimkulu. I must look at what happened to Ivan Pillay. If those people were charged for similar crimes, I expect the state authorities to do exactly what they have done to others.
Yes, I was not saying you should do something, Mr. Mlado. I was trying to understand, what do you want our system to do for you, who has been working so hard to deal with this since 2019? You must now have an expectation to say the system thus far has clearly not assisted you.
Yeah.
So what must the system do for you to feel assisted? How must the system deal with? Be direct about it.
Thank you so much,
Deal with General Sibia.
Honorable James.
You missed your opportunity. Thank you, Chair.
Thank
Yeah,
you. So,
Chair.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Chair. I want to start by asking you, are you aware of the fact that since the establishment of the Special Independent Investigating Unit, which you reference in page 5, paragraph 9.2? Can we just quickly go there?
Of my affidavit, right?
Yeah. Let's first go there.
Page.
Page 5, 9.2.
Okay.
Appointment of the SIIC to
Yeah.
investigate. What has been their findings since their appointment?
As I indicated in my evidence, and to my answer when I was answering Honorable Mwango, the committee is continuing with the investigation. It's being constrained. The lawyers are unable to work because there's no budget to pay them. So it's a start and go.
Okay,
So they were about, as I understand it, there was going to be an interim report that they're going to issue. either next month or a month after that, but that's what I know.
When were they established?
They would have been established. The resolution is a 2003 resolution, so they would have been established late in 2003.
2003.
Yes, because
And when were they given the responsibility to investigate General Sibiya's appointment?
sorry?
When were they given the responsibility to investigate?
So there were initial terms of reference that were signed, right? So they started the work, and whilst they were busy with that work, then there was a new speaker who came from Action SA who stopped the investigation for 6 months. Then when that speaker was booted out, then the new speaker, Honorable, Councillor Margaret Daniels, came in and then restarted the process, I think a month or two. So there was a start and go because of budget issues, but also because of political changes that have taken between now and then.
I put it to you, sir, that they were working for 2 years. They had a budget of 12 million and they couldn't produce a single report, not even half a page.
So what is the
And they
question?
further wanted, you said earlier on, budget constraints. What could they show for 12 million? They further wanted 40 million. And you saying budget constraints when they couldn't produce a single report for the work done. There was no value for money.
Can I say something, Chairperson, because and I need your guidance here. I am not here to represent the work of the committee. That's not my evidence. So I expect.
But sir, you could
Can I
respond
make a
earlier on
submission?
and you said that there was no
Can I make the
budget, but
submission?
now that I question you.
Can I make a
for the
submission?
work
Can I finish
they've
making
been
the
doing,
submission?
You
Can I make the submission?
Listen
Then you
now.
will speak. Can I make the submission?
This is during my time.
Yes, can I make the
You
submission?
need to answer what I'm
The
asking.
next thing that's going to happen is that I'm going to keep quiet and then we'll talk. Can I make the submission?
Sure.
I'm saying, Chairperson, now I'm being asked, what did this committee produce? All I've said to you in my evidence is that the way I understand it, because it doesn't account to me, it account to the speaker. I said, the way I understand it is that there were budget issues. As to whether 12 million was spent, that's not my evidence here. So I expect to be engaged on the basis of my evidence. And those are the rules, Chairperson, of giving evidence and of being cross-examined. Otherwise, then I could just throw anything here. And I'm not here for that.
But sir, you cannot also come here with half information.
No,
When you
it's not my evidence.
When you reference.
It is your evidence that that
when you
committee is.
reference
It
that
is
there was an establishment of an
No, 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 no.
investigation and they were meant to investigate the appointment. I'm asking you, you could clearly state why they couldn't have a report.
It is
because
your
you said
evidence.
that there was budget constraints.
It is your evidence that they have spent 12 million. It's not my evidence. So you can't expect me to answer to your evidence. That's not how rules of evidence work, Honorable James. You can't place a fact here and you want me to speak on it. It's your fact. You can come and sit this
But
side
you
there and
referenced
place your own evidence.
9.2, it's part of your testimony. sir.
But I have not said anything about 12 million spent. I haven't said that comes from you.
You responded to to my colleague next to me when he asked you about the work they've done, why there hasn't been a report, why there hasn't been progress. You responded to him earlier on to say that there were budget constraints. So I am clarifying it to you now, saying that they were funded 12 million already and they did not produce.
And you are a
the
witness. That's your evidence. It's not mine.
So I'm putting it
You are,
to you.
you are a witness, and I'm not going to assist you to be a witness into my evidence. My evidence is the budget constraints. Cross-examine me on that. But you can't come here and introduce a figure that they've been given 12 million, they have spent, they've got nothing to show. Now you are turning yourself into a witness. Please, these are rules of evidence.
Please, sir, answer my question.
No, I'm not going to answer that. It's your evidence. Answer your own evidence.
You reference it in your testimony.
No, I have
and
not.
You
Don't
responded
accuse me.
to it earlier
Don't accuse me of things that I have not done.
on your earlier
No,
response.
no.
Can
You are not going
respond?
to. No, you are not going to do that.
You are not aware
Don't
that
accuse
12
me.
million
Don't.
on
Chairperson,
an
I must not be accused.
investigation
No.
has not produced so
You are not
much
gonna accuse-
as a single page of a preliminary report. Not
don't-
a single page. of
That's
a
your
report.
evidence.
I put it to you.
It's your evidence.
Right. I got my point across.
No, it's your evidence.
With regards to competency tests, right, in the city of Joburg, has there ever been any irregularities in terms of where appointments were made without competency assessments? Or was there ever a stage when a service provider was not appointed to conduct these tests in the city of Joburg?
Whose evidence is that?
Ai, Here,
It's your evidence again.
Meneer,
You are asking me about things that I have not testified about.
I am asking you.
You are asking me about things that I have not testified about.
To the fact that General Sibia, yes, he is allegedly corrupt, I know that. But you have highlighted and you have told this committee that he did not undergo this assessment.
No, I haven't said that. Again, you're putting evidence.
You said that.
Hold
You said
on.
He was
I said
appointed
there's a,
out going through this
Um,
assessment.
Honorable
That's
James,
what you said.
Honorable James and
I,
Mr. Mlan. This is a committee of parliament. This
yes, but that was after the appointment.
committee, the ad hoc committee, is a committee of parliament. May you please, the two of you, conduct yourselves in a manner that is consistent with the decorum of the House of Parliament and the integrity of Parliament as an institution of the people. Thank you.
Can I try that again? When did General Sibia undergo his competency test after his appointment?
on the 14th of November, 2022.
And when was he appointed?
Appointed on the 8th of November, not 2016.
And he failed his test, right?
He got an appointment before undergoing a competency assessment
Okay,
and he
so-
failed the assessment.
So all I'm asking you is, with regards to these competency tests in the city of Joburg, right? As COJ, has there ever been any irregularities in terms of where appointments were made without competency assessments?
I'm here testifying only about one competency assessment of General CB. I don't know anything about any other. It's your evidence again.
Was there ever a stage when a service provider was not appointed to conduct these tests in the city of Joburg? And has there ever been any instances whereby employees start working and only complete a competency test months or even years later?
Here to
We are
testify.
rooting out corruption in the city.
I'm here to testify about the competence assessment that
I'm
General
asking you
CBR.
these questions. You can
Yes.
either say yes or no.
No, my testimony is on the competence assessment of General CBR. I know nothing else about any other competence assessment.
So you weren't focused on rooting out corruption in the city. It's more about General Sibia.
Not at all. Again, here.
Because I'm asking you, as an executive in the city, I'm asking you to answer my questions and you refuse. You are only focused on General Sibia.
No, you're mistaken. I'm not here by my own invitation. I am here to support an evidence that is already on record here by General Mkwanas about CB. If I was coming
No,
here to,
and we agree with
can I
that
make
evidence.
the submission?
We agree with that.
Can I make the
evidence.
submission and finish? If I was here about talking about corruption, you'll be shocked what else I've done in the city of Johannesburg. But I'm not here for that. I'm a secondary witness. The primary witness is General Mkwanas. I come behind him to corroborate his evidence. So I'm not here to place my evidence. I'm here to corroborate evidence that is already on record. These are rules of evidence, Honorable James. I could have said anything here, but I've restricted myself to what I was called to do by General Mkwanas.
You are restricting yourself to what you want to answer.
No. You don't understand the
Not
rules of
what we
evidence.
want.
That's what the problem
Let's
is.
move on. Let's move on. You gave testimony earlier on. You referenced all these reports. Why is it that you didn't reference the public protector's report? Why did you not speak to it?
Amen. So, I've spoken to it. And I said the public protector has written and confirmed that what she made findings about was a particular set of evidence. There's a set of evidence that was not placed before her that I've testified about. Maybe you did not hear me.
I want to say to you, you testified in the affidavit that the former mayor of the city of Joburg, Herman Mashaba, signed off on the establishment of the group investigation service, right? And the appointment of General Sibia and its executive head was unlawful, according to you. So I want to start by asking if you have read the report in full.
Madam, you have to be very specific. Which paragraph of my affidavit are you referring to? So that I know what you're talking about. Because I've
Because you were
structured this
selective
evidence.
in leaving out certain things.
So which paragraph of my statement you're referring to?
Are you aware that the public protector went on to find that she could not find facts to fault the process followed by the city in the appointment?
We've got a letter of the public protector as part of my evidence. And I'm really trying to figure out which aspect of my evidence you are dealing with, which paragraph.
I'm reading you all her findings. Are you aware that she also found that the appointment was not improper as envisioned in section 182, 1A of the Constitution of Maladministration, in section 64AI of the Public Protector Act?
Well, either I'm aware or not, there's a letter of the public protector here that has not been contested, where she says, I've said all of that because evidence was concealed from me. That's what the public protector is saying.
Did you challenge this report?
Amen. The public protector herself is on record.
Sir, can you stop
No, no,
being
no.
sarcastic?
No.
Can you stop being sarcastic?
No, I'm not gonna.
Amen. We're not in church here.
No, I'm
Respond
not-
to my
I'm-
questions. Don't get stroppy with me.
No.
Not today.
You are not gonna treat me like that.
You
Let's
are
forget.
gonna make a
You will not. You will not.
been calm and asking
No, you will
questions.
not. You will not. You are placing your own evidence as if it's mine.
I've been
And I'm not
asking-
gonna allow you to do that.
You haven't answered
No,
a
no.
single question.
Point to a paragraph of my statement
May you stop speaking,
so that I can answer.
may you stop speaking at once, all of you. And take a breath. I don't have,
Chairperson, I'm as calm as ever questioning the gentleman. He's as arrogant, speeding, refusing to answer questions. I mean, it's not fair.
the problem is that both of you, you want to speak at the same time. And there is at no stage where in my procedure, I should say to you, this is the time for so-and-so to speak. And now this is the time for so-and-so to respond. I can't do that. Where you are sitting at a close range to each other. When the other speaker is on the platform, the next person should be listening and respond and allow a question to be fielded and respond. That's how it will happen. But if you want to speak, I know Honorable James and Mr. Mlando that the then executive mayor of Joburg is now the leader of Action SA. But there is always a better way to deal with this matter than to have a heated exchange the way you want to have it. Can we do better?
Yes, we can, Chair.
Thank you so much.
Chair, can you please just prompt the witness to answer my questions?
Are you able to answer the questions that the honorable member has asked?
Yes, Chairperson, and I'm answering them. It's just that she's not happy with the response.
Yeah, no, what is needed is for you to give answers.
I want to ask, are you aware that Chief's investigations under the leadership of Mr. Herman Mashaba uncovered about 6,000 cases of fraud and corruption involving transactions of about 35 billion in the city of Joburg, and that full reports with prosecutable cases were handed over to the NPA? I don't see you referencing or mentioning any of this.
Because it's not my evidence, that's why. If I was here to give evidence about that, I would have done so.
Because in your evidence, you taint and you try to create the impression that Mr. Herman Mashaba was corrupt and he benefited and he was guilty of fraud.
No, I'm saying, let the
Because that's what
document,
you've said.
can I speak? I'm saying, look who signed what document. The people who signed the documents are the people who are liable for those documents, for the very documents that they've signed. If those documents happens to be fraudulent, you can't sign it and then say you're not liable for it because you came here to fight corruption. That's not how evidence works. Evidence is what it is. The records are there, the signatures are there. What were they signing?
Why did you not mention that he uncovered 35 billion rands worth of fraud in the city of Joburg?
That's not my evidence before the committee. If I was coming here to speak about how glorious he was and what else he did, then that would have been my evidence here. But unfortunately, that's not my evidence here. My evidence here is in respect of the paragraphs that I've stated in Mkona's statement. I'm here to corroborate those paragraphs. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. The witness was very selective in what he has put in his testimony and what
Honorable
questions he
Scosan.
wanted to answer to. Thank you.
I have called you Honorable Scosan. The time ends at 20:32.
I got to ambusha, Chair. I thought I'm the last one again, but thank you. Baba, nisavukile?
Siyaqhuba. I'm tired.
Ngithanda ukulotshisa man, ngithi chebe. Ngesikhethu sithi hayi siyaxolisa man ukuthi sikubeka amalanga amabili la.
Yeah, I'm tired.
From izolo azange kuhambe kuhle ukuthi sizenze zombili. Bara ngifuna ukukuthokoza ukuthi uthethe le ndlela zokuthi uzositshela ke ngendaba kaSibiya ngoba in particular what you submitted to before us here is more about the irregularities of the appointment of General Sibiya. Am I right?
Yes, and also both at COJ and also as a Deputy National Commission.
Yeah. No ke. Yazi sisekingeni la. Isizulu yasazi. Mina ngikhuluma isiNdebele hle.
Ngiyakuzwa baba.
Hawa ngiyathokoza mongizwa ngizoyibamba net lapho. Qala musi silange ukuthi ngezi6 zango February.
Yes.
uGeneral Mkhwanazi waya lapha watshela ababiki bendaba ukuthi kunomraro lapha esipoliseni nesole Africa into azikhambi kuhle ngoba weza la ku portfolio committee yethu esipoliseni wasibikela mara ke sakhamba kancane okwenza ukuthi sifike la sikhona namhlanje. Mina ngifuna ukukuthokoza nje ukuthi kunama signatures lana esiwabonileko. Ngizokumixamisa kancane ngoba fanele basilandele nesikhethu isi. Fanele basilandele. Ukuthi uthe mawufaka izinto la. Wabeka ukuthi kunento eziningi ezisayinweko lapha. Engicabanga ukuthi angeke sakhona ukuphikisa. Bengibone nenye la i-signature umunye wabhala mhlambe wakhohlwa ukufaka i-date. Ngokwakho ukwazi ngoba uberegile noSibiya if ngikakubuza uGeneral Sibiya. Ubereke naye eCity of Johannesburg.
Yes, since when I arrived in 2018 November up until I left end of June 2022. So 4.5 years or so.
So makafika ko into le abayibiza ngokuthi i-competency test. Honorable Shongo wambuza la ngicabanga ukuthi mhlambe wayibona. Wena ngokwazi kwakho into zakhamba kuhle kusho ukuthi kwalandelelwa indlela ekwenziwa ngayo i-competency test le. And ukubuza mhlambe direct question. Wayiphasa le competency test according to nina manithola i-respond from SSA because ngibo abantu engicabanga ukuthi bane competence yokuqala abantu masifika endweni leyo.
No,
Yeah.
he received a negative result on the competence assessment. And there's a jurisprudence in this regard. A High Court in Grahamstown, 2 judgments of the High Court are clear in the case of Morane versus Buffalo City, 2 judgments of the High Court. If you get the type of result,
Just a moment, the hand of Honorable Solis is up.
Thank you very much, Chair. May I please have someone to sit next to me and interpret? I'd like to understand the questions that are being posed. I made the request before. There's still no interpreters. May you kindly make provision, Chair. I would like to understand what my honorable astute colleague is asking. Thank you.
Yeah, the people responsible for those services are not here today. I think they were, let me tell you, the last time the matter was raised, I got confirmation that they were made available. They came, they spent a week with us. There was no need for the, and no, I'm honest. Yeah, look, you honorable members, it depends on you. If you decide to speak in vernacular one week and the other week you because they were there last week after the matter was raised. I got the 2 names which were confirmed that the people were available. For sure, you would know, even in one of the sessions, you would have overheard in the system that those services were being provided. Yeah, and then the next thing, we go for the whole week without anybody speaking vernacular. There is no person who can come to hang like clothes in a washing line. So maybe, and even this morning, since we started, there was never any necessity for. Can we proceed the way we proceeded in the morning and conclude this last part of the proceedings as a belief?
Ngiyathokoza mgcini sihlalo. Ngiza ukuthi ke nje ke ngibethe ngesikhuwa ngoba ngathi kunenkinga mara ke akuthwengi. Let me but I'll mix because ngifuna nabantu bekhaya abanye.
Honorable Souls, can I interpret the part that he has said?
Honorable Chair, I shall rather just leave it because it's not because I'm trying to be funny. I want to participate in the proceedings. And so I
Okay.
understand the dilemma, but then it is very wrong to then not be consistent with speaking in vernac. It's a waste of
Sure.
resources. So if there was consistently spoken in English all the other times, then it should continue now also, not because English is important.
Yeah.
But just so
No,
for
yeah,
understanding.
the debate about languages cannot be
Yeah.
overemphasized, but most interpreters, when they start, they say, him is saying. Him is saying that he thanks Mr. Mlandu, and then he will switch to English.
Thank you, Chair. Can I continue? Ngiza ngimixa Chair ukuthi bakhona ukubamba nalabo abamba khona.
Or you can
Now-
proceed, Honorable Member.
Thank you. Let me ask again, I'm not disrupted once again. But it's fine. All our problems started with the DA and Herman Machaba. Do you agree on that? At the city of Johannesburg, when they were still, Machaba was the mayor during that time. Am I right?
look, in respect of my evidence, I think much of it started by wanting to have one person embroiled. by all means necessary. So once you get desperate, if you want to employ Mesuli and you really go out of your own way to get Mesuli, even if Mesuli fails a competency assessment and you of a unit head, then you want to promote him to a group head. So
Now-
it's desperation. In respect of my evidence, I wouldn't want to speak broadly because I was also brought in the city of Johannesburg by that administration. So I came in through the Mashaba administration myself.
Now, why, in your view, why the DA and Herman Mashaba in the city of Johannesburg wanted Sibia by all means necessary?
I will be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know if he was really advised about this because I don't think he was really advised of what was happening. But yeah, well, I was not there. I don't know.
Do you think Mashaba and Sibia were friends?
Not that I know of, Honorable Skosan, because when Sibia went to conduct an undercover operation against me for 3 days in the Eastern Cape, Herman Mashaba was really hurt and distraught about that because he didn't see it coming. So, and I remember in a meeting that we had, he was the first to reprimand Shadrach Sibi. The only thing that he ought to have done is to call the police to arrest Shadrach Sibi, and that he did not do.
Now, in paragraph, page 229, paragraph, no, I'll say C. Let's go to C. You spoke about the 5-year term fixed contract.
Page 22.
229, M229, page 3 of 6, but 229.
Yes.
The group corporate and shared services.
Report, yes.
Yes. C, you said that the good practice for this type of position is that the contract of the incumbent is not renewed or expired to ensure the continued independence of the function, hence the incumbent to be appointed on 5-year fixed term contract.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
So they say the incumbent to be appointed, so it's futuristic, to be appointed would be on a 5-year, what to call, 5-year fixed term contract. The head of this department, remember they were forming a new department. So they were saying that then the head of this department would be appointed on a 5-year fixed term contract to secure the independence of the position. And that's why then if you go on paragraph 3.7, the first bullet, it tells you that the recruitment of the unit head, that's where General CBS was, that one was underway. So they were separating these two positions so that you are clear that the head of department will be on a 5-year contract, but there's going to be a unit head who's being recruited.
Earlier, you said that you've submitted your complaints to the MEC and you've submitted to the, if I remember well,
Speaker.
Speaker and to
Shamila Batoyi.
and to, you've spoken about who?
Shamila Batoyi and Fani Masemola.
Yes, and in fact, I'm not sure whether I said in the office, the former NPA, NDPP, am I right?
Yes, so I shared the same statement that you have here. I've provided it to them because I consider that the evidence is complete for action to be taken.
Now, you didn't get help.
Well, Honorable Skosan, I will say because it was end of November, then there was December Elal month, maybe the help is coming in January. Because normally December and January is a flat month in government. So I want to give them a benefit of a doubt.
So in your testimony, you said that General Sibia was appointed before. In fact, he was appointed. Let me put it like that. You said that with what you presented to us here, the position which he ended up being, it didn't exist before. Am I right?
Yes, there was he was recruited for a unit head under a JIRAS department. Whilst the recruitment process was ongoing, then they restructured JIRAS. to form a new department called GFIS.
Yes.
So by the time the recruitment process is concluded, then there's a new department where he should be wrong. But he's still going to go in as a unit head because the head of that department will be on a 5-year fixed-term contract. And Sibia was appointed permanently as a unit head.
Now, that position was not advertised.
No. No, what happens is this, is that in the report of January 2017, suddenly Sibia is signing using a bogus title of a commission. So he's calling himself, calling himself the head of this department.
Before he was appointed into that position.
That's how he becomes. He declares himself one. I mean, that's crazy. You declare yourself something and then you become. Where have we ever had something like that?
No, ngesikhathi leso uMeya bekungubani? Umpophalathe bekungubani uMeya leso sikhathi?
It was Mayor Herman Mashaba.
And leso sikhathi bekasathwala ikepisi le ye-DA, am I right?
I can't recall. I think he was still part of the administration of the DA.
Hey, ngiyathusa man. Umuntu uthola iposo anikelwe. Kuthi ukuthi ngamanye amagama wenzelwe yona leyo nto ibinga advertised next.
Yes, remember in my evidence I said, it's my theory and I could be wrong. The legal opinion was accepted. The report of 4 November was signed, accepted. The legal opinion was accepted. The only problem here is that the guy failed the competence assessment. So he was not going to cut it if the position was advertised, period. Because he failed the competence assessment of a junior position. How was he going to pass a competence assessment of an HOD where we are all tested?
Now, was there a salary on that declaration? Because if I remember well, the salary which he was earning was 1.2 million. It
Yes.
ended up being 1.8 million.
So, but at the time when he declares himself as the head of department, who is a commissioner, there's no salary. The salary comes in September. Once the job description was graded and it was found to be a job description of a head of department at 1.8 million, then it was implemented retrospectively for General CB. So this is a fellow that comes in and 1.2 million, declare himself as the head of department, sits, signs a job description of a head of department, it goes and graded, then it gets the salary. And it gets retrospectively to 1st of July 2017. So this is a guy who's at home.
Now, I'm going to take you, I think I've exhausted that. I'm going to take you to page 71, paragraph 10.2. In the respect of the above review findings and conclusions in relation to the alleged irregular and unlawful functioning and the intelligence gathering operation of Mr. Sibia, which is General Sibia, I guess,
Yes,
we recommended that the municipal council must take the following actions.
yes,
That in line with Mr. Sibia prima facie status as section 56 and 57 employee, the municipal council must authorize the city manager to appoint an independent investigator to investigate the continued employment of Mr. Sibia without a top secret security clearance and should place Mr. Sibia on immediate suspension pending the outcome of such investigation.
yes.
What happened after this? I think a legal advice from the TZ attorneys.
So what happened is this, it doesn't get placed before council. Instead, Weber Wenzel are employed to come and counter. This is just an legal advice. This is a legal advice, an advisory report. You go and get another legal opinion to counter this legal opinion. That's the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens, they then get another lawyer, Moody and Robinson, to write another report criticizing this advisory report. How can you spend public funds on 2 lawyers to criticize the legal advice?
Sure.
And then again, Sibia must go to court and try and stop what is clearly legal advice. That he must be investigated, he must be suspended. What was he scared of?
Now, in your view, Herman Mashaba and the executives who signed here committed fraud. Am I right?
If I'm going to declare you something that you are not, I know you are a unit head. I know I'm told there's a legal opinion that says I can't make you a group head, but I am prepared to allow you to sign a report together with us, pretending to be a group head of a commissioner.
Now, in
Then
other words,
you can't deny that we are, all of us, co-perpetrating fraud and corruption.
so in other words, you are encouraging us to open a case against Herman Mashaba as well for fraud, like we did with General Sibia.
No, the evidence is encouraging you. All I'm doing here is to place before you records with signatures of people. And I'm telling you what those records are saying. And what is nice about it, Honorable Skosan, these records were placed in the public domain by General Sibia himself when he went to the High Court. They are there. So all I'm doing is that I'm a canvas, a canvas on a ship. I'm just pointing to a direction. What you do about that is up to this committee, Honorable Chairperson, and its members.
Ngiyakuthokoza ukuthi mhlambe ke kwenza abantu ababhalako, because we were told many times sitshelwe kaningi ukuthi then former mayor was at Johannesburg was against corruption, but what you submitted to us here is contrary to all these allegations of praising Herman Mashaba as the corruption buster. Ukuthi kade silelwa amala la. Ukuthi kade sitshelwa amanga amanye amagama ngesiZulu. Sitshelwa amala iminyaka eminingi engikhulu. Nje-ke ngifuna ukukuthokoza begodu ngiqolise ukuthi sihlelisa isikhathi njengoba ngikhe ngatsho ekuthomeni ukuthi lokhu ke kuzokwenza masprobe these matters zase-City of Johannesburg, in particular uSibiya ke inamathela no Herman Mashaba nabanye abakhona la. Mara njengathi ke la sizokuzama ukuthi njengoba sikhe senza naphambilini iDA sayenza iDA sekubonakele ukuthi awa i-corruption into yabo. Ngiyakuthokoza no Herman Mashaba bebakhamba bonke. Amanye amagama ngithi man sithokoza kakhulu ukuthi usinikele into emnandi kangaka. Ngiyakuthokoza.
Yeah, if I may, as the last point, Chairperson.
No, his time has ended. Him says. Chief Whip, you are the last speaker to have conversation with
Oh, thanks, Chair. And I think I have very few questions. I think the first one is that somewhere in your document, I think it's paragraph 11.3, I'm just going to state it, you remember
Sure.
the facts. You are making references to how the mayor 13 witnesses and pressurized investigation. What do you think was or could have been the reason for that?
So, if I may, Chief Whip, once the state security agency issues this letter, I showed you there were two equipments. The mayor calls the press briefing. That's the mayor, Dr. Balas, to cover up this thing. He calls the press briefing next to Hilbert Police Station. You will think that nothing has happened. He says there's no spy equipment in the city of Johannesburg. The SSA has written a report to me. He reads all other paragraphs. He leaves paragraph 4. She leaves paragraph 4. So if you were in that press briefing, you would have left thinking that the SSA has cleared the city of Johannesburg. That's what the media was told. So after that, when I submitted my supplementary report, because it's exactly why I ended up submitting a supplementary report to both Minister of Court and the Minister of Police. When that happened, then they began to manufacture a report that I must be suspended in the mayoral committee. That report was supposed to have served in a council meeting of the 10th of August. But for some reason, there was a fight within the caucus of the political parties that did not serve. That's why I resigned on the 12th, immediately and effectively, and I disappeared, because there was a plan to deal with me. Now, you have to have this in context. Now it's August. If you remember, there were 2 WhatsApp screens by CBI. What did he say in the first one? I don't know why the city is not dealing with this boy. So I was going to be dealt with in August. Sibia complains on a WhatsApp in July. So I realized that that was on beat. It didn't make a So I'm outside. Because at that time, Dr. Brink is out of the city, and I decided, let me pull out and be on the outside. So I watch these things as they happen. So it's the mayor who first led a report about me in the mayoral committee to serve in council on the 10th of August.
Do you know, maybe did you check who are the directors of the company that benefited with the 7-meter tent?
No, Chief Whip, I did not. There are theories, but I did not. I think the councillors of Al Jamah have represented this thing publicly, that this machine was bought from Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you will remember when the other witness was here, the same language came of grabbers from Israel. So it looks like there's a market of this thing somewhere.
In Israel.
Yeah.
You know, I'm asking that question because I'm trying to ascertain this level of determination on the part of the mayor at the time. And I mean, and for instance, the decision that was also taken at the same time not to challenge, because I think it was the same leadership, not to challenge the case in court, as a consequence of which General Sbiya,
Yes, an unopposed order.
yes,
Yeah.
he was on an unopposed order and then he won. And that is now being circulated as
It's being cleared.
as a confirmation that the man is cleared.
Yes.
So I'm trying to understand what was happening, who are these players, and what motives essentially drives them. I mean, if you have not looked at the directors of the company, it might not be easy for you
Yes.
to put a very firm interconnectedness between the players that were involved. The other issue that I wanted to check is that because again, one is wondering because why does General Sbiya appears to be a very powerful man? I mean, look in the sequence of what you presented to us in terms of how his position was handled, including himself signing as a commissioner, no consequences, court cases, no consequences, very determined to buy an equipment that does not necessarily have to be used by the municipality, no consequences. So essentially that must be a very powerful man in the country. And then it troubles my mind because we have listened from other generals who came before us. And one of the contentions they've made somehow links him with a cartel of criminals in the country. Now, I'm troubled in my mind. Of course, that has not been yet proven beyond reasonable doubt if we were to use what our jurisprudence requires. But it troubles my mind that such a person coincidentally so powerful again in the city of Johannesburg, and he does things according to his own will and survive. So I would imagine that is an issue that we need to pay attention to, unless if you want to make a comment.
Look, I don't know, Honorable Chief Whip, because when I came in, I found a man who's everybody else was tiptoeing around him. And it just didn't sit well with me. It was just something wrong about him. And when I began to probe, I stopped him. He was about to investigate the head of governance and the COO at that time. It was Dr. Brink. I stopped him on his tracks. I said, no, man, you don't have powers to investigate the executive. You're a junior official as far as I know. And that irritated the booze out of him. So there's an email here where, if you've got the time, read that email exchange between me and Shadrach Sibi. It's about 5 pages, where I decided one day, no, man, this can't continue. That one person runs the show here. So you shall see how he answers me. He says, no, I can investigate anybody. I've been investigating anybody. I said, no, but that was before I arrived. There are laws in our republic. All of us, we must comply with them. So it's there, you'll find that just I'm tired right now. I can't even point to where this thing is, but it's in the bundle. Thanks.
No, it's understandable. I mean, there's been a long day. It's understandable. I think my last point, I want to make obviously you can also comment on if you want to, is that I would imagine that the nation will be very interested to know what happened during the rise of Lieutenant General Spear from the role he was playing in Johannesburg. I know he came from Hawks to Johannesburg and back to be a Deputy National Commissioner. I think it will be very interesting to know what was happening during that rise, as a consequence of which people at a very senior level, including our National Commissioner, could not pick up at all that the man is bringing closer to him is followed by such a negative history. Whether that history is accurate or not accurate, but the fact that so many things, as we have uncovered, have happened which are negative, and in my own view, to a larger extent, do leave a stain on the reputation of our second in command, because a Deputy National Commissioner is equivalent to a second in command in the context of the police. So what is bothering me is what message does it communicate about the systems, processes, and the security alertness when decisions are made to appoint people at that senior level?
Yes.
That's what frightens me, because it suggests that if anything we've heard about Lieutenant General Spear were to be confirmed to be true tomorrow, it therefore means that unless something drastically, very drastic is done, we may wake up one day as a country having a national commissioner who is the convener of national criminals in the country. That's the observation one is making. If anything we've heard about the man is anything to go by, from General Mkhwanazi, from you, from Kumalo, and others, it worries me. I don't know if you want to make a comment, and that's my last comment. Thanks.
Yeah, look, the one thing that I can say, and I said this to the evidence leader, there are two allegations that I'm making about General Spear. One, I'm saying he's a prima facie fugitive from the law. That's the first allegation I'm making. The second one, when you look into what my reports were saying to the ministers, the second one is that he's a serial lawbreaker. You corner that fellow. You cornered him here. What did he do? He lied. No, Mesule appointed somebody with a health qualification in HR. Unprovoked. He lies. No, that fellow was fired somewhere. He's too corrupt. That's how he does things. Had I not discovered, Honorable Chief Whip, that there are people who are digging data about me in the Eastern Cape, you would have seen an article from a newspaper saying that there's this corrupt official in the city of Johannesburg. He plays dirty. So that's the Deputy National Commissioner that General Masemula appointed. And this thing of a national commission who sits somewhere and decides who's going to be the Deputy National Commissioner on his own, that's in a criminal justice system. That's a huge, huge risk without an advert, without a recruitment process. He decides how many is going to need, who are they going to be. You can't have that. That is dangerous. You can imagine if I go there today and I became a national commissioner, I can employ the chairperson as a deputy because I make the calls. You can't have power centralized in that fashion. So this issue of appointments without recruitment, and it works better for Shadrack Sevilla because, and I'm even wondering if there's a competency assessment in the police. Do they really write a competency assessment? I even wonder, because if there was one, he was going to fail. He would not have made it even on that position. So these are risks that are before us. There's a last point that I want to say. And I want this committee to ponder as to whether General Masemula did not fail. How come that the city of Johannesburg a week before decides to investigate? General Masemula the next week promotes. He did not do what he was supposed to do. That's the first thing. There's a second thing that I would want you to be bothered about as this committee, is that if General Sibiya by 2017 is earning 1.8 million, by the time he leaves, let's say as an example, he would be earning, what, 2.2 million annual increases and stuff like that. I wanted to check when he went back to SAPS, he had a drop of about 6 to 700,000. 6 to 700,000. The question is, if we are used to this salary, how are you going to fund the gap? And I wanted to think about that. Look at the letter of his appointment. He was going to earn 1.4 million when he was going back. It's part of his statement before this commission. Look at it. Then ask yourself, if now I'm 2.2, I'm going to earn where I'm going, 1.4. How am I going to fund the gap? Maybe the answer lies there. Thank you.
Are this the salary packages that you get at local government? I qualify. I've gone to school. Mr. Mlandu,
Chairperson.
if you were to appoint me, will it be a problem? I'm qualified.
You can give yourself a title if you want to.
Tell me, are you, where you are sitting, are you convinced that the evidence that you have presented here can help us to make a determination whether General Sibia lied under oath?
Both him and General Cel, they lied here under oath, and I've provided you with that evidence. That's supposed.
What I want is the adequacy of the evidence that you presented here. Are you convinced that it is adequate for the committee to determine that some of the witnesses that were here lied under oath?
Yes, Chairperson, this is adequate.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because if you say I employed somebody with a health qualification and I produce a degree, then that's a clear lie.
Oh. And then in your opening statement, you said that the evidence you present shows that the appointment was fraudulent. How fraudulent was, besides going to
Yes.
was the post advertised?
No.
There
The
was-
one of the head of department, no.
There
The
was
group head.
there was no advert.
It was by declaration. I am a commissioner and you become.
And then you say the interviews happened today and the appointment letter was issued out the following day.
On the junior position of unit head, yes, the interviews were today. The appointment letter issued the following day. Then a week later, you go for competence assessment. A week later, you fail it.
So the competency assessment happened after the appointment letter has been issued.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then from there, 2 months later, he was a group head.
Exactly. And then a month later, he gets the delegations of a group head. So the powers to operate as a group head in March.
In March.
Yeah. Then in July, he creates his own job description, he creates it, and then in September, he gets a salary of a group head.
Okay. No, it's fine. Is your hand up? Oh, okay. Okay. It's fine. All the honorable members have had time to have a conversation with you. Advocate Mkize.
Chair, I'm going to defer to my senior and whatever she doesn't cover, I'll cover.
Advocate Mokhaitse.
Thank you, Chair. I actually just have one question that I want to ask the witness. I think Honorable Souls referred earlier to a WhatsApp exchange between General Sibia and a colleague where he called you obsessed. And part of your documents, there's a memorandum, an internal memorandum that suggests that there was an investigation that was done against you for the employment of a deputy director. And it said that this employment was irregular. And General Zibia suggests that your obsession with him has something to do with the fact that there was this internal investigation against you. So my question is there any merit to the allegation made by General Zibia? And I'd also like to know what the outcome of that investigation was against you.
On page 415 to page 420, that's the findings that were made against me. Remember, I've been subjected to 2, not 1, false investigations, sort of false allegations. So, Annexure M59, page 415 to page 420. The lawyers are clear. These allegations were manufactured so as to harm the reputation of Mr. Mlando. Then I refer you on M63 on page 438 to page 439. We could not find anything that Mlando has done. And that's basically it in the city of Johannesburg. And I think I've referred to some in Ekurhuleni because ever since I've arrived in the city of Johannesburg, there's no day where General Zibia was not investigating me. One day I've employed my cousin, the other day I have not finished my qualification. I was even investigated by Zibia for not having matric. So they change every month because they need to get something about Mesut. So the findings are here, they speak for themselves. Advocate Mkhwezi, so before you.
Thank you, Chair. I only had one question.
Thank you, Chair. I don't have a question for you, but I would like to place your documents in a chronological order so that we understand them as you reported them.
Sure.
Just in terms of, it's 2 main things. So the one, I'll do the sequence for General Zibia's appointment up until the point at which you reported, and then the steps that were taken by you. So I'll just run through them. On the 4th of November, 2016, there is a restructuring document, which is at MM20, that speaks about the new role that needs to be accommodated, which is separate from the unit head. On the 8th of November, General Zibia is appointed. There's a letter of appointment at MM18, page 217, and he is appointed as the unit head, Group Security and Investigations, Group Risk and Assurance Services. On the 9th of November, the next day, he signs the offer letter, and the offer letter reads, he's the unit head in the department I've just mentioned above, and that's at page 219. Yes.
Yeah, the legal opinion on the 8th of November.
Yes, but this is just the appointment aspect. And then I've got the assessment report that he failed on the 22nd of November 2016, after he signed the offer letter and he's started in his role. On the 3rd of January 2017, there's an updated report that speaks to the role that was to be taken. I think that is, that speaks to the new role. I think that's at page 226. And that new role was forensic and investigations, basically dealing with the new proposed structure. There's an updated version of that.
Yes.
That's just in terms of the role as the documents sit.
Yes.
And that's the sequence of events in terms of chronologically in terms of dates. And then the steps that you took.
Yeah, you have not added the
Yes.
legal opinion on the 8th of November.
That would be a step taken, I think.
No, on the records of
Okay, so 8 November, there is a,
legal opinion, the one that says you can't, is a unit head. If you want to make him a group head, you must re-advertise.
okay,
That's the 8th of November. And then the
So-
last document that I spoke about, but I did not present is MM24.
okay.
Is the delegations. Sorry, my apologies.
Okay.
The delegations,
But
oh,
when-
it's MM36,
And it comes, what's the date?
8th of March. So
20?
2017.
Okay, that comes a bit
Yeah.
later. Yeah. And then the steps that you took from the time that you found out about this from the whistleblowers, on the 7th of April, 2022, there's a report, which is at page 31.
Yes.
That's the Zebediela report.
Yes.
And then on the 8th of May, 2022, is a response from the public protector
Yes.
at page 124.
Yes.
And then on the 13th of June, 2022, is a letter to the speaker as well as the public protector from you,
Yes.
authored by you.
Yes.
And that can be found at MM5, page 92. And then on the 20th of June, you wrote an urgent report for the attention of the Minister of Police to intervene, as well as to COCTA.
Yes.
This,
Mr.
it's stamped on the face of the document as received by both institutions,
Yes, on the
Yes.
20th.
precisely.
Yes.
And then on the 22nd of July, you got a response regarding spyware.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the mayor's,
That's
to
the
the mayor. Yes.
precisely. And then on the 29th of July, you wrote another letter to the Minister of Police, to the Minister of COCTA,
Yes.
to the Speaker and the councillors, and that is at page 106. So there were two letters. The first one was a report in June. The second one was the 29th of July. It was a supplementary report.
Supplementary report.
Include,
I was
yeah.
including now the SSA, because remember, Councillor Palaz is concealing the truth that
Yes.
there's a spyware in the city of Johannesburg. So I'm
Exactly.
asking these ministers to go and arrest her as well.
And that was confirmed as received on the 4th of August 2022 by the Chief of Staff in at the Minister of Police's office,
Yeah.
Ms. N.H. Pogani.
Yes.
That is at page 114.
Yes.
And she confirms that the minister will look into the
Yes.
matter and has looked into the matter, and you will provide a response.
Yeah.
On the 5th of August 2022, you reported the matter to the Hawks and you wrote a statement.
Yes.
I see that there's a Hillbrow police station case number.
Yes.
Okay. And then in terms,
There's two statements. I can't remember the date.
yeah, I'm just putting them in sequence because when we discussed them, you know, the questions were quite everywhere. And then lastly, in terms of spyware, I'm just looking for, okay, here. The order was made to CSN Technologies on the 19th of August 2019, and that was for over 7 million. And the payment, the proof of payment by the city is on the very next page for that exact amount.
Yes.
And that all was done in 2019.
Yes.
And the steps that you took commenced in 2022
Yes.
to date.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Advocate, Mr. Landu. Thank you so much, and thank you. Honorable members, the staff of political parties here, the staff of parliament, and members of the media. You have been here for 2 days. We must say it and thank you. Yeah, and your team. We want to thank you so much for your patience. Honorable members who are coming back here next week, Tuesday. Yes, there is a proposal that the following guests appear on Tuesday: Gun-Free South Africa, Dr. Gordon Rolls, Mr. Xolile Mashukuka, and Mr. Taliho Ramavulela. So the committee will have a meeting on Monday to finalize the rest of the timetable and deal with other matters that members raised during the week. We should be having responses for all those matters by the time of the meeting on Monday. So I'm reading the appearances of Tuesday so that our staff can work tonight and tomorrow to have these appearances ready on Tuesday, notwithstanding the fact that we will have a meeting on Monday. Are we agreeing? Thank you so much. You have said everything you wanted to say. Is there any other member who wants to say something? Honorable James.
Chair, I just want to ask the member that testified yesterday that said he had to organize his own accommodation and flights. Has that matter been resolved? Do we have?
Yeah, the reason why I'm saying we must finalize these appearances of next week, Tuesday, is basically to deal with matters like those. So that there must not be anybody who says bad decisions were made in the last minute. They have the whole of tomorrow to get in contact with the following guests and make all the arrangements. Honorable Matthias.
Monday's meeting, is it virtual again?
Yes, committee meetings are virtual because we meet on Mondays, which are constituency days. Any further hands? Honorable Skosana.
Lami lokugcina nje noma njengoba uthi uthi into eziningi sizozikhuluma ngoMvulo. Yeah, I hope that ngolosibili angeke kwenzeke into eyenzeke ivekele ngolosibili no ngoba hey nje bekukumbanyana bekukumbanyana lapho ke sizayicoca ngoMvulo ngiyakuthokoza nje na ukhambe kuhle la uyakhona.
He's speaking in Ndebele. No, I heard you. You know we have Ndebele speakers in Limpopo. Yeah, the challenges that happened during the week, Honorable Skosana, you are right. I think we will deal with them and make sure that next week when we have appearances, everything runs smoothly. We don't have a situation where we wait for some witnesses and they do not pitch up. Honorable Shongwe.
Chair, just to maybe fix in the Kuluma Babu Skosan, he's speaking about the selection of whom we're going to talk to. Because some of the matters that came to our attention here was for committees, not for ad hoc. So I think he's speaking into that, not exactly the running and the happenings.
We can't go back to that. It
Yeah.
was in your committee meeting where you decided that you want these people to appear before you. So,
Yeah, just the
so
selection.
the decision of the committee stands. We have agreed on those 6 civil society organizations and those 12 or more appearances from public submissions. So we can't revisit that. We must be now running towards the finishing line. Honorable members, I want to thank you